Warning. The Pop Punk Book Club features heavily biased opinions and unapologetically wild takes performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals to ensure the safety of performers and animals alike. We may sound confident, but our views are based entirely on personal feelings. Accordingly, the PPBC and the producers must insist that everyone attempt to recreate and reenact these stunts and activities. Join us at poppunkbookclub.com.
You took the whole Emo Book Club thing a bit seriously, don't you reckon?
What do you mean? Dude, it's been so long since I've had straightened hair. I never wore it like this, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
How did anyone ever deal with their hair like this?
I can distinctly remember times in school though where you would like grab it and pull it down like this.
Yeah, but I'd never wear it like this. It would always be like fringy.
Yeah.
But it was never
the little push up and across thing.
Yeah.
This is already bringing back nostalgic vibes for me.
But
I was going to say, it looked.
I've never had it like this.
When I arrived, I thought Jay's by surprise organised a special guest.
Yeah.
Getting someone from the band for this week.
From Underoath.
Yeah. You definitely do look like Spencer with a beard.
Spencer with a beard.
Yeah.
They had the...
Maybe it's like a cross between Spencer and Aaron.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that. Some incredibly talented people.
Yeah.
Remember in the Define the Great line behind the scenes where they're backstage, I guess, of the studio being like, look at my beard, look how much I grow. This is 2 days growth.
Right.
Yes. Like Spencer with a beard. It's funny. It's like he finally gets his growth.
Just took him 20 years.
But that's funny. I got to have it down. But I can't handle it in my face. I don't know how everyone did it back in the day.
When was the last time you straightened it?
Oh, when Julia had lice. I had to try to clear my hair out of lice. But before that, I don't know. It's funny you say Spencer, though, because last time we're doing Underoath for this episode of the book club, for the Emo Book Club. If you don't know what is going on, I mean, if this is your first episode, whoops. But we do the Emo Book Club once every season. So this is this season's book club for the Emo Book Club. We're doing the Around the Chase and Safety by Underoath, of course. But last time we did the Used self-titled album. Oh, dude, I can't handle how itchy this is on my face.
I feel like you just need to get...
I'll do it just for the intro, like the Santa costume. I've got to stick out the intro.
We've got 2 big albums for the Emo Book Club.
Yeah.
Right? Hitting the heights.
Yeah, what are we going to do? We do it so infrequently, it's got to be a good one.
Yeah, true.
But it's funny that, because the other day, it's actually on brand here.
All right.
I started watching through, which I've never actually watched through.
Twilight.
What?
I just feel like...
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I was never a Twilight fan, but I feel like just going back to this period.
Because all these memories are coming back of what was, popular at the time. I started watching the Osbournes. The reality show with Ozzy Osbourne. Man, that's funny. Yeah. That show is so funny. Like, it's just a random clip. Like, the family will be dealing... I've never seen it before, but like this...
Oh, really? You never watched it?
I never really watched it.
Ah.
I would have loved it back in the day. It's so funny. Like, there's like clips of Sharon, the mum, trying to like wrangle the kids in, and they've got like... They're whinging and complaining, and they've got like teenage kind of drama going on in their life.
Yeah.
And Ozzy's like nowhere to be found. And it just cuts to him like like at the kitchen bench making his lunch with the cat coming toward it. He's like, off to the cat. I was like, this is the greatest show ever. But on one of the episodes, Sharon was talking to Kelly, and one of her big problems was that Sharon didn't like her boyfriend and saying he smells like beer and cigarettes, and I don't really like him. And she's dated like quite a few guys on the show, I think. Because every episode I see that comes on, they shuffle, but everyone that comes on, it seems to be dating a new guy, but she's been spending so much time with her boyfriend in a hotel and staying with him, etc., or out of the house. And Sharon's like, I miss my Kelly, come home.
Okay, who's it going to...
He turns up, it's Burt McCracken.
Oh!
I forgot that they even dated, but he just randomly appeared in the show, and I was like, oh my goodness, Burt McCracken. And Kate's like, what? And I was like, that's Burt McCracken from The Used.
Interesting.
I never would have predicted that or like guessed that.
I wonder what Ozzy thought of The Used.
Weird that. Imagine dating Kelly Osbourne, of course, and going to her house and being like, that's Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
But being any musician dating her would be intimidating.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But Sharon just straight up didn't like him. I think it was because...
It's unsurprising, to be frank.
Well, I think I haven't watched that many episodes, admittedly, but she seemed to like a lot of her other boyfriends. She really didn't like this guy. She straight up was like, I'm sorry, Kelly, I just really don't like him, essentially. He smells like booze and cigarettes.
Yeah, right. What era of The Used is this? Is this like In Love and Death time?
I would think it's around self-titled In Love and Death around that time. Yeah. But it's that thing of... maybe it's because she loved him so much because she was never home, and I think that was maybe the other boyfriend. She still was home a bit, because Bert was huge at that time.
Yeah,
but he was so quiet on the camera, he barely said anything.
Yeah,
like, does Ozzy realize that he's also like a legend in his own scene, sort of thing? Like, that's pretty cool.
Surely,
I mean, different levels of like musical impact,
sure,
but
sure.
like still, like he's not just some random dude that she's dating. Yeah. Anyway,
how nice was it how close he and Youngblood kind of seemed?
Who are you talking about?
Ozzy.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Kind of seemed like he like took him under his wing.
Oh, right.
Anyway,
so we're here.
Cool.
After a bit of an unexpected hiatus.
Yes, indeed.
We recorded Hoss and we had it ready to. What's that face for?
I was going to say, it feels like ages.
It feels like ages
on the sofa.
For people listening, an episode came out last week, but we had that recorded from weeks ago. I just didn't have time to edit it because I've just been so busy getting this book out, and I've just had problem after problem trying to get it out. That's my work life stuff. But anyway, so I've been doing that. But we did Hoss last week. You know what's really funny? I opened my Instagram app today, and Steve-O, 32, the legend who has sat right there on the lounge, put up a video at the end of March of him covering Lagwagon from the Hoss album. Guess what song he did? Rifle. He's like one of my favorite songs, Rifle. And we're in sync. Because what's really funny though is that if anyone thought that like perhaps like we're sucking up to Steve-O on that episode, not just given our real thoughts, we would have said that whether he was here or not. No one said that. I'm just saying. It would look even more so now. He puts a video up in March and we're like, we've got to listen to all of Hoss. But,
that is awkward.
Yeah. So what did you do with your unexpected break?
So the other night, went out for dinner with some families from Owen's school.
Yeah.
We've done it like every now and then. We just go to like the local bowling club, which you've been to with me before. We had dinner there.
Oh, yeah.
And so we'll often go on Mondays because it's kids eat free for members on a Monday.
Right.
And but on this Monday, it was just Owen and I that went. Jess stayed home with the girls. And I was running late, as usual.
It's so itchy. I'm trying not to, just sitting here while it's just itching my face. So Julie goes to me when I straighten my hair out. She's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just straightening my hair out. Like I just, doing it for the book club tonight. It's just something funny we're doing. I said, this is how we used to wear it. She went, yeah, you used to do that back in the day? And I was like, yeah, I used to straighten it. Not like exactly like this, but I did when I was younger. And she goes, with electricity? I was like, yes, I had electricity when I was younger.
Oh, so she's never straightened her hair. She's too young for that.
Yeah, no, I've done it when she was little, but she was saying to me, like, how did you do it without electricity?
Oh,
to me.
She's implying that we didn't have electricity when we were kids.
We had electricity. It's been around for ages. She's like, I think since like the 20s. And I'm like, but for her, is that 2020s or is that 1920s? I don't know. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, so basically in the period that we had off, I haven't gotten any better at running on time. So I'm running late for dinner and I'd leave Jess's membership card at home. I forget to take it with me and she doesn't come with us. So it's just me and Owen. And I think, look, I don't care. We'll just go. I'm not going to waste any more time going back for it. So we get to the club and I go up to order food for Owen and I. And it's like 5:30. It's peak hour for this place when like parents are there eating free, like their kids are eating free. Like this is the peak time to be ordering, right?
And all the old people getting the early dinners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so the line is long. I make it to the front. I order our food. The lady like punches it in. And then she's like, are you a member? And I was like, look, I'm not. And
you are, but you just forgot the card, right?
Well, no, Jess is a member.
Oh, right.
And I didn't bring her card.
Yeah.
And
member by blood.
Well, I probably
Member by
could have
marriage.
said that. They're pretty relaxed. But anyway, I just said no because I was like, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, do you want to become a member now? And I was like, that seems like a bad idea. Like there's a massive line behind me. I'm sure like me signing up to be a member of this place is not going to be a quick process. This is not good. But then I was thinking, she wouldn't have asked me. Like she clearly knows what it involves to sign up and how long it's going to take. She wouldn't have asked me if there's all these people behind me. Like she would want me to be moving through. She's already got my custom. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've already ordered my foods. I'm happy to pay the full price.
From the 1800s?
From the 1800s.
She's gotten my custom. Yeah, I understand.
And so I'm like, oh, and there was a little like QR code on the menu. So I'm like, look, maybe it's really quick. So I'll just do it. I'll sign up to be a member. It was not quick. It involved me like
100 points of ID.
Well, I had to take a photo of my driver's license. Then I had to take a selfie to like
verify
the ID, which involved me like I didn't want to be like taking a selfie up here, looking like a dickhead with those people. So I'm like holding the camera down and trying to take a selfie. He's taking
the piss. They're in the line thinking you're just taking a selfie.
Yeah, exactly. Monday night at the club. I'll show you the photo in a second. It's horrendous. So yeah, I had to take a photo of my license, then had to enter all my details, then had to pay the membership fee, but it wasn't like you just tap. I had to actually get a card out and enter the card details. No. So I'm like fumbling around cards, dropping things on the ground, thinking there's people behind me and they're like parents
you are Mr.
from
Bean.
school. Yeah, exactly. So I get to the end of this process and I become a member. I sign up. I get my like kids.
My 5% discount.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'm not turning around. I don't want to look and see who's behind me.
Hungry people too, not
just
exactly. Like impatient.
So then I start walking away and I'm like, look, I'll just do a quick peek just to check the damage here.
Yeah.
Turn around. The next guy behind me in the line is like another dad from Owen's class. I'm like, whatever. And so then I go out and I sit down with everybody and guess who I'm sitting next to for the rest of the dinner?
That guy?
That guy.
Oh.
It's just...
You enjoy your little 5% discount, buddy? It's slightly cheaper chicken schnitzel.
Let me show you the photo for fun. Look at that. That's with the camera down here like this so people can't see.
Just pooping your dax. Oh man, I don't know how people do that. I can't do that anymore. Sorry. I've committed to the book club for as long as I could.
I think you last a bit longer with that than you did with the Santa costume.
I went through the whole intro with that. When you listen back to that, it sounds like I'm talking through like a comb because I got so much like mustache on my mouth like this. And you were like,
it's funny because you're a beard pro as well.
Yeah, true. But I don't usually have it down across my mouth.
Yeah.
It's like trimmed.
Yeah.
But I don't know how people did it. I did it though. I went through the whole intro. But it's funny because before I came here, I actually just pulled it back in like a ponytail so it wasn't like in my face the whole time while I was driving.
Right.
And I was saying, okay, I look like a biker. There's a fine line between emo and biker.
Yeah.
What's your shirt?
That's an interesting like collective.
Yeah.
Like that
the Venn diagram. The crossover.
The emo bikers.
What's your shirt?
So I've got my Hot Lies t-shirt on.
Hot Lies, dude.
Yeah. Were you a Hot Lies fan?
There's a couple of songs that I liked by them, but you guys supported for them. That was huge.
We did.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
and
really
I
cool.
also, so I've still got this shirt from when I played in our band. And
wow.
Look how small it
is. Which was the style at the time. Yeah, everyone had really short shirts. I remember I used to hate, that's perfect, dude. Yeah.
And then look how skinny these jeans are as well.
Spray-ons. That's so good. I remember back in the day when I get a t-shirt, if my sleeve on my shirt came to like here, I wouldn't want it. I'd want it up high. I think that's why like Sum 41 got the 41 tattoo there because everyone had short shirts cut short enough that you could actually see them.
And nowadays, like the trend is big and baggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll go back.
Yeah, exactly.
There's already people
kept
saying what they want Tom DeLonge's lip piercing. I saw that today on TikTok. People being like, I just want, because on the Pop Punk Book Club TikTok, we get so much like pop punk content.
Yeah, sure.
And a lot of people like, I really want Tom DeLonge's piercings.
Oh, no way. I tried one on when I dressed up as Boomer.
The lip piercing?
It literally lasted less than a minute. Like rubbing on my tooth.
Your teeth,
I was like, oh God.
Yeah, no. Funny, we had, I think I said a couple episodes ago for people to send in recordings of like, you know, if they were in a pop punk band back in the day, which I really want people to do, by the way. I wasn't joking about that. Definitely do send them through. A guy sent through his band.
Sick.
Yeah, they're called Courtesy Flush. He said it took 23 years for them to get it up on Spotify. They recorded it 23 years ago. But he sent it through to me, and it is of the era 2000s pop punk.
Yeah.
And I said I'll give him a shout out on this episode. So if you have an old band,
that's really cool.
Let's try to, do you reckon we should try to do, maybe for like the outro song of the episode, we do like people's old pop punk bands. It has to be a firm, everyone agrees, no stroking rule, okay? It doesn't matter. It took 23 years to put on Spotify. Now we can copyright stroke people. But no, we have to be a firm rule of that we're allowed to use it.
Yeah. Well, surely if you're sending it in for us to use, you're implicitly agreeing not to have us.
And Sam is a lawyer, so don't test him or else he'll represent himself in the courtroom, take us to court. Where's your lawyer, big boy? Like me. Put the briefcase on the table, they'd poop their dacks.
That's your second DAC pooping reference in the episode.
Is it?
Yeah.
What was the first one?
Me in my photo in the front of the line.
Did I say that?
Pretty sure.
Oh man, my brain is not on today or the last week, so apologies for that.
We were playing with the idea of, or toying with the idea of...
the same thing.
Thank you. Getting like people to cover the song and having that as the outro.
Cover this? Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be a big ask at this point.
Oh, it's so funny. That would be awesome.
We might have to commission it. We might have to pay people.
Yeah, it's just like we'll fabricate the interaction or whatever, make it look like people actually care about doing that. So we've got bands to discuss whether they are going to make it in. We haven't even talk about us.
Can we talk about though briefly?
Yeah.
Oh what's going on? There was a podcast, another podcast, music podcast of some kind.
Yeah.
That responded on one of our videos on social media about morbid stuff.
Yes.
Have we talked about this already?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
And like, because I was on a video where one of us was talking about how amazing we thought that album was. I think it was when we were talking about like it was our favorite punk album of the last decade.
Yes. Yep.
And this other podcast commented on the video and was like, chuck this on, never heard it before, loved it.
Yeah, and loved it.
How
yeah,
good's that? We're spreading the love.
Yeah, for sure. There's one of my favorite things is when people say, I've never heard this band before, but because of the show, us, they've put it on and really found something they liked. We're helping people find the gems, which is just sick.
Yeah. There you go, pup. If we ever play any of your music before striking us, remember,
remember that.
We recruited.
When you play a show in one town, there may be one other person there. And that is directly because of us. Maybe. But on that note,
yes,
talking about introducing gems to people.
Oh, yeah.
We have some bands to talk about of the potential inductees into the book club or considerations for the book club. We have a name for like every segment. We don't have a name for this. We need to call it something.
I've been calling it in my notes, what you've been listening to. And I stylize it as what you've been listening to. But that's not particularly catchy.
That's more just like what we've been listening to. We need something that's like the potentials, you know what I mean?
That's kind of where it arose from though.
Yeah, we kind of just took that segment over because we're like, we need something to listen to.
Why don't we call it like bench warmers or like, what's a good
pop punk song that it could be?
Yeah.
The potentials or something like that.
Did you listen to one this week?
Yeah, I did.
We've had a while to listen to it.
We have.
You won't be surprised.
Does that mean that
to it till this afternoon?
It's the best because it gives you your like first reaction to it. Last one that we did, I listened to like the whole week, and I felt like when I talked about it, I already was familiar with the album. I think it's better if we only give it like our own little premature evaluation of like one listen.
Yeah.
Or just maybe, you might check back on it, but not like a thorough.
Correct.
So when we do it, we're like this, because that would set it up for failure if we do the album eventually and be like, we both thought this was good.
Yeah.
Like the one little one listen we did.
What were we thinking?
So your album that you did was
Rarity.
Yeah.
Album. Oh, sorry. The album's called I Couldn't Be Weaker
by Rarity.
Rarity.
Yeah, I chose that one for you because it was short. I remember from the length of the duration of the album was short.
Right. Yeah. Look, what style did you think it would be when you picked it?
Like more newer, like more modern stuff, but more like post pop punk, post hardcore.
So there's a bit of post hardcore. It's kind of like an interesting blend of screamo with pop punk.
All right. So what's your thumb doing?
It's intriguing. Look, my thumb is. I'm gonna go an okay, like or a.
That's good.
I'm gonna go
no.
Yeah, but I'm like not an emphatic good. I'm like it gets to a good. I think it's worth us
considering
doing it at some point.
Okay, well then wouldn't that just be maybe?
Okay,
I take it back.
It's a maybe. It's a maybe. Here we go. It's hovering here, which means the listeners have got to decide.
Yep. Show me.
All right. Which
I'll look it up. What is it? What's the song called?
Play the first song. Hollow. Listen, party.
We'll be right back. I like that.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the screaming.
Okay,
the rest of it, I quite enjoy.
Well, I was in when I heard D beats. So that pretty much sold me straight away.
Yeah.
But there's cool chord work. I mean, very heavy tones. Like the bass sounds like corn. It's like super low and like twangy, but like low tuned.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, the way it's the way they've done their tones, it sounds almost like it's like hardcore-y.
I would say that's on the punkier end of what I've heard of them so far.
All right, yeah, okay. Yeah. Right, okay. But it's surprisingly more pop punk than I thought. So
yeah.
I'll meet you with a more of a good than a maybe, I think. Okay. About somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
We've already broken the scale. Now people can see why we end up making Crown and Flame because they're like, great isn't enough. But no, I think that's cool. I definitely wouldn't be offended to do that in the book club. That's for sure. But we don't know enough about it. So if anyone out there is a Rarity fan,
please
let us know.
Sell them. Sell us on them.
And maybe not this album. Maybe it could be another Rarity album if we don't choose
That's
this
actually
one.
A good point.
Yeah, definitely. So my band that I had to do was called, what were they called? It was Transit, and the album was called Keep This to Yourself.
Cool.
You guessed what the genre was going to be last week. Oh, sorry, last episode when we did it?
Couldn't tell you.
You said it was like, do you want me to tell you what you said?
Yeah, please.
At the drive-in, kind of post-hardcore. That's what you're thinking, yeah. All right, so with my thumb with this one, I'm probably going to hit like probably a maybe to no.
Okay.
And the reason that is because this to me feels, it's not, this is the thing. When we do the Pop Punk Book Club, we have a pretty broad umbrella, as everyone knows. And when we do the Emo Book Club, we have a very narrow umbrella. Not in the sense of like, the sound, but we go for like the biggest emo albums we can find because we do it so rarely. If we were to do something that, because I feel like this sits closer to the emo side than it does pop punk, and I feel like it's probably too far outside. It would make more sense to do it for the Emo Book Club, I think.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like full emo. I get it. There's pop punk elements to this. I just think it's a little bit outside. I feel like our umbrella has to end somewhere, and I feel like it's just slightly outside of that. But it's like if we ever one day, for some reason, we're doing the Pop Punk Book Club and the Emo Book Club full time, I would consider this for sure.
All right.
It's not that it's an emo album. I get that, and I think that some people would be like that they're not emo at all. I just think that it's got the vibe that I think it just wouldn't. It sounds like to me like Census Fail if they're just a little bit pop punky.
Okay.
So because of that, I just hear it more as an emo album, and I don't know if when we have such a big catalog, maybe when we're like 50 and we've run out of ideas. But I'm going to show you the song off this album.
We will have run out of costumes for the Emo Book Club by that point for sure.
I will listen to the first song called Dear Anyone.
Listening party.
See what I mean? It's very Census Fail-ish.
I actually hear a little bit of Yellow Card in the melodies.
Really? Okay. I think it's the singing style that reminds me of Census Fail.
Yeah.
But also
maybe the singing style, yeah.
Tell All Your Friends, Taking Back Sunday-ish a bit.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's too many big hitters in the emo that we'd have lined up for the emo thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like that's really pop punky.
I think I agree with you. It's probably more on the emo spectrum.
Yeah.
But there is pop punk aspects to it. Like we could probably do it in the Pop Punk Book Club.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we've done Jimmy Eat World, we've done Yellow Card bands that have a little bit of...
But that's my point, is that we have such a lineup. I would probably want to go back to other bands that we've listened to listen more of their discography.
Yeah, sure.
That fit in the umbrella more than keep expanding out laterally. Yep. But I don't think it's bad.
I think I would agree with your...
maybe to know.
Yeah. Which means if there are people out there that know that band and they can sell us on them, then go for it.
Let's get enough. Somehow make us be able to do the Emo Book Club for full time, and we'll do it in that. Anyway, so that's cool. Oh, we're gonna pick new albums. While you're doing it, actually, I'll read out some comments. By the way, that post that we put up, you know, one where it's like, oh, what's your favorite album? Like that you die on the hill for is the best, and that.
Yes, our most popular video.
I feel so ungrateful. Stop commenting on that video. Every day I go into bloody TikTok, there's more people commenting. It's like, all right, we've had our fun. Leave it alone. No, it's fine. It's great that people are commenting, but there is just so many comments on there all the time. It's genuinely the most comments I've ever seen on a video.
Wow.
Like, isn't it
interesting that that's what
people want to tell you?
Yeah.
It is funny though.
It is a good question.
It is a very good question. Thank you.
Yeah.
To me personally, what's funny about it is seeing all the comments, so I can see when everyone leaves a comment, and I can see all the people all agreeing with each other about stuff that they feel like is a heaps unique take. And from their perspective, they may not see all the other comments that have all bloody said Insomniac by Green Day or like other albums too.
Yes, okay.
There's a lot of people on there that have very hot takes about.
Oh, can we get some examples of some hot takes?
For sure. Someone said California. Mike Regan, his name was California was Blink's best album because Tom's voice was insufferable. They were better without him.
That is a hot take.
That is the hottest take I think I've ever heard. California.
That is a bold take. Congratulations, sir.
That might be the hottest take we've had on the podcast.
It is a good album. It's not their
it's good.
best.
No, definitely not. But to say California is Blink 182's best album, what was that? Oh, dog's barking. We live in the slums. To say it's their best album ever because Tom sucked and it's like good to not have him around is just wild.
That's good.
It's just the biggest Mark fan in the world left that comment.
Yeah. Or maybe an Alkaline Trio fan.
Yes. You know? Someone said that Tyler says most NoFX albums have top tier hits or top tier deep cuts, but you only get one or the other. War on Errorism kind of bridges that gap. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. I think that might be the reason.
There was a surprising amount of love for that album. There's a couple of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you did say in that because in the video you said that War on Errorism is yours, and a lot of people were. But also that was our other bigger video was when we talked about War on Errorism, and a lot of people reacted really well to that too. Anyway, so what do you got?
Oh, we don't have any more.
No, we've got more, but we can pick out albums.
Okay, I'm happy to go totally random.
Okay,
just stop it when you want to stop
it. Whenever I want to stop it.
Wait, yeah, you're doing mine.
Yeah. But you're not even going to say stop. I'm just
sorry, I'll stop. I'll still say stop. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, no, but then I can kind of control it now that we've realized that this book is in chronological.
We're overthinking this. All right. We just won't show you.
Okay. I'll stop the other way.
Set, go.
Stop.
All right. Cool. Just holding on to my armpit. All right. We're looking at albums from 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first album, the book smells so good. First album that we have is called, is it the band name first or the...
I can never remember.
I say this every week. Okay, no. Oh, let's scroll back to check. Page Avenue by Story of the Year. That's not really pop punk, but Story of the Year.
When you've got to come up with 500 albums.
Their umbrella is very broad. Okay, so the album is called Love and Loathing with Confidence or Belmont by Belmont. One is on Hopeless Records. They're typically more heavier music, right?
I was going to say, yeah.
And the other one's under Mutant League Records.
Oh, I've got a tie into that.
Oh, what?
it'll feature in our. I think it will anyway in our premature evaluation.
Well, there you go. That's the album I'm picking for you then. The self-titled Belmont album.
All right.
Should be hard to remember because that was a couple of suburbs over from our high school.
Indeed. Let me write that down because otherwise I'll do what I did last week. I have to message you and say, "Can you tell me my?"
While you're writing that down, I'll give out the answer to Popeth Punk. I'm not sure which one we're up to because there's been weeks missed. Popeth Punk didn't go up. It's always confusing for us because we record a week in advance from whatever people are listening to. Like, yes. I mean, one episode just came out yesterday. Like Hoss came out yesterday when we're recording this now. But everyone will see this in a week's time. Yeah. So it's confusing to know what's what. But I'm pretty sure that... Oh, wait. Did I give out the answer for... Anyway, if I have, it's a double shout out. But the answer... I know that this guy left another comment and we talked about it on another episode. So that might be what I'm getting confused with. But Axel Elcom, he left a comment about something else, I think. He's come back and gave the correct answer. It was Fox by Millencolin.
Cool.
Well done, fine sir. There's your little shout out, then shouted from the rooftopeths. But yeah.
And from memory, the one we did for Hoss was not my best performance.
That was last week's one.
Yeah.
I've got to still make the clip for that.
Yeah.
Can't even remember what that was.
Well, I started reading the wrong one to start with.
Yeah, we were both so tired. Oh, what a mess. I love when the podcast gets messy.
But then even, I think it just wasn't good. And then, anyway, whatever.
Oh, I just have a message here from my brother, of all people. And I told him about us doing the Emo Book Club. I said, do you know any like banging emo albums that we should add to the roster?
Yeah.
And we're at dinner and he's like, oh, I can't think of any. And then I received this message when I got back. Yeah. He said
12 albums.
Yeah, he said, it's not even albums, just bands. So he said, I've had to think, and some emo scene stuff is, and I'm going to rapid fire these. Escape the Fate, From First to Last, Atreyu, Taking Back Sunday, Dashboard Confessional, Emery, Error, Funeral for a Friend, Matchbook Romance, Yellow Card, Thrice, Alexis on Fire, Silverstein, Amberlin, Sayerson, Thursday, Fallout Boy, Story of the Year, Simple Plan, Code in Cambria, Brand New, Paramore, Motion City Soundtrack, and Census Fell.
Gosh.
So between all of them, we definitely have some emo albums lined up because there was some really good ones in there.
I think maybe a Census Fail album should be the next
we should
one.
do a Census Fail album.
Yeah.
And we both have to force ourselves to give My Chemical Romance a fair shot because we never really did. Yeah,
I'm actually excited to do that.
Yeah, me too. I want to see if that has, I don't know. We do a lot of albums where I go, this is still sick, but I don't know if I'm going to go the opposite way on that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's pick me an album. Oh, yeah. We got an episode, a comment on the Morbid Stuff episode that said, I've never heard of this band before, but I really enjoyed this album. Going to be on rotation for a while, I think. You might like the Thermals album, The Body, The Blood, The Machine, and The Front Bottoms, Talon of the Hawk, if you like this one a lot.
There you go.
Yeah. I said,
cool.
Wow, great recommendations. We'll check them out for sure. And how good's Pop? What are your favorites off this album? And they said probably Keys. I mean, Kids, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And Scorpion Hill. But honestly, every song is at minimum a great. Really cool.
They're adopting our rating system as well. Who is this?
Yeah. People do that. I see people say that. How sick is it? It's so fun.
What a great little community we've got. All right, let's get you an album.
Yeah, let's do it. Stop.
Oh! One of them is Does This Look Infected?
There we go, on the pillow.
And the other one is a Kelly Osbourne album. Did she put out a pop punk album?
I didn't even know she did. I'll do that. That's very on brand for today's episode.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, what's the album called?
Shut Up.
What's the album called? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet, what about mine?
Yeah, Kelly Osbourne.
Kelly Osbourne, Shut Up.
Shut Up.
Right.
2002, Epic Records.
Wow, straight next to Does This Look Infected? I was listening to that today. So good still.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So we've got our albums for next week.
Yep, sounds good. We can do that. We can check them out. I've never listened to anything Kelly Osbourne's ever brought out, I don't think. May find a gem there. Who knows?
Maybe.
We just keep digging.
I mean, look, if a dad had a pass over it before she released it, then surely it's...
I mean, admittedly, I'm not getting my hopes up because I feel like that might be in the overproduced side of the genre, that when it was labels were capitalizing so hard. That
well, it's 2002, yeah.
Yeah. So, but we'll
That'll
see.
be interesting to listen to for sure.
I could be completely wrong.
Yep. All right, hit me, Greg.
He finds a new song from a brand new record, then
get bands to cover this.
Give it his best 10 seconds. That's all it takes for him to tell you what he reckons. It's premature evaluation with Sam.
All right.
That's Sam singing that, by the way.
I know.
He's got a voice of an angel.
What a register I've got. Okay. So do you know the band Chief State?
No, I haven't heard of that at all.
Neither had I.
Okay.
Canadian pop punk band.
Oh, yeah.
They've got an
Not
album.
American? Everyone's going to come for you if you say yes. We have a habit of getting American. Okay. Oops.
No, we don't.
Canadian bands wrong.
We don't.
No, we're on the same ship. If one of us goes down, we both go down to go down together.
Anyway, so Chief State. have a new album coming out in a couple of days.
Are they a more modern
today?
band, or is it like not Social Distortion? But you said like there's bands that have.
Oh, sorry, no, they've only been around since I think I read 2015, something like that. So they're reasonably modern.
Yep. Still 10 years.
Yeah, I know. But like that's probably when they started, and then they had they fucked around for a few years before they knew what they were doing.
Do you know a guy left a comment being like, "How does a man sit like that?" about me with my legs crossed. I've always hated when people do that. Oh, mate, my nuts are too big. Got to sit with my legs apart. Like, come on, man, grow up. It's comfy.
I sat on my nuts once in maths class. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Written off for the rest of the lesson.
Yeah, Mr. Travis. He sent me to sick bay.
Did he?
Oh, Sam, come on, mate. You look like you got to go. You got to go, son.
The biggest bear of a human with a mustache. And it was like year 9 maths. And then he, I remember on the last day, we're like, oh, see Mr. Travis. He's like, come here, and gave us a hug. It was so good.
Imagine if he commented on some of our videos. That's not fucking pop. No, but I sat forward to reshuffle, and somehow, I don't know whether I was wearing
talking about
looser
sitting on your
underwear and
testicles.
sat on my testicles. Yeah. It must have been a hot day. Do you know what I mean?
If you know what I mean.
So,
people are thinking, this is what I tune in for. Oh, the new album out. No, Sam's talking about
I came here for a premature evaluation. Get on with it. It's called Keep Your Friends Close. Comes out in about a week. Have you heard the term rain-drenched pop punk before?
No.
Neither had I, but that's kind of one of the terms that's
We're so out of touch. That's twice now.
I know. Apparently, that's a term that's used to describe this band. Like, they're kind of known for that.
Rain
kind of
touch.
Rain-drenched.
Rain-drenched.
And so it kind of is, it seems to me to be like pop punk that's kind of like a little bit of a blend with emo. And so it's got a little bit of like gloomier kind of.
That's so lame. Rain-touched.
It is.
It's not, but I'm calling it that because I can't remember we said rain-drenched.
It is. But on their website, they like self-identify with that term. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Just make a new genre up if you don't fit into one.
Indeed.
So what do you think?
Look, I liked it. Yeah. And it's kind of, I would say it's got like neck deep type vibes.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely a little bit of emo, like kind of crossover.
Okay.
But it's got that kind of like upbeat, energetic, like super melodic.
So it's just rain drizzle pop punk, not rain
It's like a sun shower. That's what it is. It's sun shower pop punk. It's like not like it's like it's got a little bit more going on than like, bright sunny pop punk, but it's like not gloomy or anyway.
I said to someone one time, they said about sun showers how there has to be a cloud. And I was like, no, I legitimately like was at school one day, I remember, and I got rained on and I looked up and it was a blue sky. And I was like, it can happen my whole life I've sworn that you can have a sun shower without clouds. And someone like a few years ago was like, a bird might have weed on you.
Yeah.
Like that might have just been urine.
Or you were standing close to a balcony and someone's taken it.
Yeah, maybe. Why can't they just be throwing water? Why
is this rain warm? Mom.
I got a funny story. I'll save that for another episode because we're running over, but I have a funny story about getting destroyed by a bird.
Destroyed?
Yeah.
Anyway, this premature evaluation has gone on far too long. But look, I think this album's worth checking out. The songs April Showers and...
So much rain.
Yeah, let it go. And Keep Your Friends Closer are definitely like in the great range. Not sure they're crowns, but they're definitely greats. And I reckon this band could be one we could potentially check out on the
consideration
on the book club at some stage.
For sure.
Yep.
Maybe you can force moving that into the considerations.
Yep.
Like I'm going to force this into a bit more of a listen.
Yeah. I wonder if they're in the book.
Maybe. If they're not. Oh, no, they're probably too modern. Anyway, whatever.
All right. Well, we've already kind of spoiled the surprise.
Yeah.
But we're doing They're Only Chasing Safety by Underoath.
Yeah. Like it's not the title of the episode anyway.
Yeah.
They've just
if you didn't know that already, guys.
That's the best way to listen to the show is blind. Just put it on, don't know what we're doing.
True. Then you don't have to look at us.
Yeah.
Is this one of the most influential albums of our time?
Especially in the emo scene.
Yeah. In the sort of genre of music that we were listening to.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in terms of like, particularly for us playing in bands as well, like these guys they're almost more influential than some of the punk bands because by the time I was playing in a band, I was playing more heavier style music than punk anyway.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone wanted to sound like these guys. It was kind of like...
Someone said that on a YouTube video the other day. It was on an Underoath video and it was someone from a well-known, like maybe a guy from like, I can't remember the band's name. I don't want to say it and be completely wrong, but like some pretty well-known like post-hardcore kind of bands. And they said you might think you're cool, but you will never be as cool as Underoath were, or something like that. Like I've said better than that, but it made me realize how big Underoath were.
Yeah.
Even though they're like in the underground, they were the shit. Everyone wanted to sound like Underoath.
Yeah.
Everyone just listened to them all the time. Like you get in someone's car, it's just Underoath's on.
Oh,
There was so much hype for Define the Great Line when that was coming out because of what They're Only Chasing Safety built.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe that it said in the document. I want to check this. I'm fact checking you for the document, saying that's their 4th studio album. I didn't know it was their 4th.
well, I wanted to ask you that. Have you listened to much of their older stuff?
No, I didn't like. Okay, so there's Active Depression, Cries of the Past, The Changing of Times, and then They're Only Chasing Safety. I'd heard Active Depression and I'd heard They're Only Chasing Safety. I figured they were sequential.
Oh, I see.
Well, like straight after one another.
Well, their first 2 albums, Active Depression, and then what's the next one?
Cries of the Past.
They're like metal.
Yeah, they sound.
like
I
proper
didn't like it because I loved They're Only Chasing Safety and then wanted to go back, and I wasn't a fan. It was like something about the changing of the sun. No, the changing of times. But there's something about the sun.
Well, the Changing of Times. If you go back, have a listen to that one because that was like their transition to like this more like post-hardcore type style.
Yeah, right.
And then it was also, I think, the first album where Aaron had like sung clean vocals as well.
Okay,
so for me personally, like like I didn't particularly enjoy their metal albums, but the
Imagine
album
doing 2 albums, not knowing that like your secret weapon hadn't been unlocked yet, because Aaron Gillespie was what everyone wanted to be.
Yeah.
So,
but also like even like Spence wasn't in the band either.
yeah. Do you remember who their old frontman was?
No.
It was Dallas, who ended up leaving and making Maylene and the Sons of Disaster.
Oh,
I loved Maylene.
you did.
Yeah.
I was never a big fan of them.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, right.
But it's funny because when Spencer came in, because that's the thing. I remember someone telling me, I don't know, so much of the stuff that I say on this show were like just rumors that was, spread around the scene. Like, I don't know if they're actually like fact checked or true. But one of the things
we don't fact check stuff.
No,
on
we
the
just
show.
say it and just hope for the
We
best.
tried to get Greg to do that for a few episodes in the first season and it didn't work.
You see his emo fringe?
Yeah.
Straighten his pubes. When they did Define the Great Line, Spencer changed his vocal sound and started doing like low screams as well.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this is incredible. Where was this on They're Only Chasing Safety? I didn't know he could do that. I was like, did he just learn to do them? And someone was like, no, he's always been able to do them because Spencer was in a band before Underoath and did them in that.
Right.
But I think I got told at least, I don't know if this is true, but apparently it was that Spencer came in and joined like that. The songs were written, apparently he came in like last minute.
Yeah.
And he thought that they wanted that sound that Dallas did of just kind of high screams the whole time.
Oh.
So he just did that on Their Only Chasing Safety. And when they're like, no, you can do whatever you want, he was like, oh, well, then in that case. And that's when Define the Great Line fully unlocked. Because that's like Underoath sound is. Yeah. The lows. Knowing now that he hadn't really done lows before, when you listen to when he does lows in Define the Great Line, that's the first time Underoath fans are hearing, most of them are hearing Spencer do low screams.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure it's the part in Regards to Myself where he goes, so tear another page from the book.
Yep.
It's just so sick. And when you hear that part, you know that was the part everyone, when they first heard the album, was like, whoa, absolutely crazy.
But I think you're right about Spencer joining like a month or so before they went into the studio, which is insane.
Yeah. Kind of the most, like, you're joining a train that is already well and truly in motion.
Yeah. And also to think that like his parts are so like, they fit so well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was such a good he is such a good frontman. But even like back then, like between him and Aaron Gillespie, that was, I mean, obviously there was a powerhouse working behind Underoath. Chris was sick on keys. Like Tim was such a good guitarist. Like they all worked together without filling the role of the band where they needed to fill it without like stepping over the top of each other.
Yes.
But it was Aaron and Spencer were like the coolest people because of that.
It was like co-frontman, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember we met Underoath?
Did we?
I did. I remember that.
Taste of Chaos?
Taste of Chaos, yeah. I remember they were doing a signing and you guys went down, but I was staying down in Sydney with my then girlfriend at the time. And you guys were messaging me being like, oh, we think Underoath's doing a signing. We should go meet them. I was like, oh my goodness. Like at that age, I was like, I can't believe I could meet Underoath. And I remember saying to her, like, we have to go because like we were in the hotel across the thing just so I didn't have to drive back that night. Mum was like, stay down there. And then she was on the phone to her mum because she was always on the phone to her mum whenever we'd leave town and mum wanted to talk to her. Like we just saw her like 2 hours ago. Yeah, but then she's like, oh, I'm just chatting to mum, blah, blah. I was like, we have to go. And they got to the point where I was like, I'm leaving without you because I'm not going to miss meeting Underoath because you're on the phone to your mum. And we went over there and we met Underoath. And then it was...
Actually, I don't remember. I remember going to the show, but I don't remember meeting them.
I videoed it on my phone, but it was when the screens were this big and the videos were that big too. You could barely make out anything that's going on.
On a little flip phone or something?
No, it was a tiny little Sony Ericsson I had. I actually didn't have a flip phone. It wasn't that cool. But I remember like back in the day, Ben used to say he used to do this all the time when we're out and about. He'd be like, "Oh, look, it's the singer from this band," and you look, and the guy'd have a slight resemblance to the guy. Oh, that's very funny, or whatever. Like, oh, look, it's Tom DeLonge, and you look, and it's a guy that looks a bit like Tom DeLonge. Oh, very funny. Yeah. We were at like, I think it was Harry's Cafe de Wheels in Sydney, the pie shop.
Right. Yeah.
After Taste of Chaos, and we're sitting there on the stairs, and Ben goes, "Oh, look, it's the keyboard player from Underoath." And I looked up thinking he was doing that thing. Yeah. And it was literally Chris Studley. I think his name was from Underoath.
Yeah.
Walking very confusedly looking along the street. And I was like, what is he doing? So I stupidly, as a 17-year-old who was very starstruck at that time, starstrucken, I ran across the road to be like, I was like, what are you doing out here, like in the middle of nowhere? I thought Ben would have gone over. And for people listening, it was Ben who we had on for the Boxcar episode, the same guy. Yeah. I thought he'd be over there talking to him. He's like, Chris said, I'm trying to find a payphone to call my wife. And I was like, yeah, you vaguely remember this?
Yeah.
I was with Ben, so I don't know if you were there.
But maybe you just told me. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. But I remember Ben definitely being there. And he was like, Chris said, yeah, I'm just trying to find a payphone to call my wife. And I was like, oh, he's like, do you know where one is around here? And I was like, in that moment, I wish I knew where a payphone was because I didn't. I'm not from Sydney. So
yeah.
I was like, I don't know, but I can help you find one. And then as we start walking, two guys come over, this shorter dude with a massive emo fringe and a bit of a taller dude that didn't have an emo fringe. I remember them. And they said to him, like Chris from Underoath, like totally like took him off us, so to speak. Like, it's not like he was ours, but like he was with us at that moment. It sounds like he was our friend, but like we were the ones taking him to the thing. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to find a payphone to call my wife. And like, yeah, we know where one is. And like pushed me away essentially. So like, you guys can go, like we'll take care of it. I was like, it's all right. He's like, no, you can go. I'm like fully took it off. I was like, who are those guys? That's so weird. Anyway, a few years later, when I first opened my recording studio, I was recording a band and the band was talking about Underoath. And I was like, oh, I met Chris from Underoath one night, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, so did we. He was looking for a payphone to call his wife. And the memories came back. And I was like, you were the motherfuckers who took Chris off me. And like, it's really funny. That band gave me lice. Because I was when I used to record
later that night when you guys went back to the hotel room with
it was when I used to record out of my bedroom. And I would have to run the multi-kill under the door of my room.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of room in there, but people would typically sit on seats, but they just started laying all over my bed. And I thought that was really weird. Oh. But they were just like, they just got really comfy on my bed. And they didn't look like the cleanest dudes.
Oh.
And about a few weeks later, my mum's like, you have lice in your hair. I can see it. And it was because of that band. That's because no one had laid all over, they had laid all over my pillows. And now this thing's in jail for life for, I'll have to bleep that, but pretty wild story.
Oh, it's the same person.
Same guy. Yep. The same guy who stole Chris Studley off me from Underoath is
there
now.
You go.
That's where his life ended up. But I'll have to redact that bit, unfortunately, but it's true. But wild, so I met Underoath, but I also met Chris from Underoath.
And then you got lice.
And I got lice from the same guys who took Chris off me.
Yeah.
Never gonna forget.
When you said he was wandering around looking confused, I thought you meant you were going to say that he was looking at Harry's Cafe de Wheels. I'm like, what the fuck are they saying? Like, meat pies? What is this?
In a tram carriage. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's some interesting notes here in the document, by the way. Like, I thought I nearly have all of them highlighted.
Oh, well, there you go. Thank you.
You've done a great job. According to Wikipedia, Chamberlain, Spencer, obviously, and Aaron Gillespie damaged their voices during the recording, and Gillespie was hospitalized with blisters on his tonsils.
Oh.
How hard you got to push yourself to get to that point?
Yeah.
It's absolutely mental.
I know. Did you also see, I don't know whether I included this, they were really heavily influenced by Deja and Tendu, by Brand New.
I genuinely have said on one of the songs, because it's like, this is the one that they tried to make sound like, they were really influenced by Deja and Tendu. I was like, wow, it sounds nothing like it.
No.
It doesn't sound anything like it
exactly,
at all. Which is good. Cool. It's a good sign of being influenced by something, making it your own, and it being completely unrecognizable.
No one would know you're influenced by them, but
unless you said
drawn that. Yeah.
Wild to think that world would cross over with Underoath and Brand New. Like being like, they were listening to Deja being like, this is really cool. We want to sound like this. Wild to think that, because if Deja wasn't made, we wouldn't have gotten this album sounding like this.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Also says, same. Keyboardist Chris Studley said they tried to get away from the clean, polished sound of that the producer James Paul Wisner is known for, but the album still has a polished feel to it. And I said, I think that's what made it successful. Maybe if they got their full, like, everything they wanted, which was to sound a bit more gritty, it would never have been as successful.
No.
And this album with their old album's production is not the same album.
No, I think that's right. And these guys, it's not just the way it's produced, it's the sound, it's the musicality as well. But they brought so many people into this genre that wouldn't otherwise have been fans, me included. Like, I wasn't really a Screamo fan or anything like that.
Like Anima did for pop punk, like really bright, polished production, that type of thing.
And it's like a gateway that people then, like, you listen to this and then you start spreading out to all these other bands and stuff.
Yeah, imagine if Jerry Finn did this album. Imagine what that would have sounded like.
Yeah.
One last thing that I think is really cool is that the band was aware prior to the release of the album that it was going to catapult them into the scene. Gillespie felt significant anxiety about this. I said, that's so interesting. It's almost like they've seen the future. And because typically when people feel like we know we're going to make a big impact, they're confident because we know this is going to make an impact. But they just knew that they were sitting on something special and that scared them rather than excited them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I wonder if that's like, and we've talked about this on the show before about how like when the mainstream punk kind of takeover happened in the 90s, you had bands who were worried about like losing your own fan base, losing the rest of the like other bands in the scene, like being ostracized a little bit. I wonder if that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, maybe. That could be it. Is that maybe they were thinking it was street creddy to be a little bit more raw and metally, I guess.
Because it feels like
they came straight away, like they went into the poppier side and went straight back out of it.
Yeah, they were only there for a really short time.
Yeah.
I can understand though how they were feeling that this was going to catapult them because it kind of feels like they've unlocked a bit of a cheat code in terms of like the songwriting on this album. Like the combination of the screaming with like the big melodic choruses. Like they use a little bit of a formula on this album, but it's clear that they realized this works and we do this really, really well.
But it was so far away from pop punk that it didn't have the structure predictability that like a lot of emo bands
True.
Like even like I Love Senses Failed, they still have pop punky style structure.
Yeah.
But with the emo sound.
That's
but
right.
This is more progressive.
Yes.
With
definitely.
Coming back to solid choruses. Yeah. I have a note here that I have no idea what I meant when I wrote it. Maybe I'll figure it out over the course of the episode. Perfect album with the cool change. What does that mean?
Ooh.
With the
like
cool
the weather
change.
coming over, it's nice to listen to.
Oh yeah, actually that's what I mean.
Right.
Thank you. That's actually what I meant. Was it's to me, this is an album that this is when I first started listening to it was in autumn. So when the weather changed the other day and the cool changes come through.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the perfect album with the cool change. Okay, it's a great note. Thanks for interpreting my dribble. That's funny.
That's in terms of like thinking about when we first started listening to it, there's so much nostalgia that this album brings back.
Yeah.
Like of all the albums we've done so far, this might be the one where I felt the strongest
Oh,
nostalgia.
really?
Yeah, because so this comes out in I think 2004.
Yep.
I think I was listening to it heaps in 2005,
Yep.
the year we got our license. And I remember driving to this album a ton, particularly with Kale in the car.
I have notes about specifically, I remember the spinning this in my car. Yeah. So I totally agree.
What do you mean?
That I listened to this so much in my car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it reminded me of all the stupid shit we're doing when we first started getting our license driving around, like with the McDonald's.
The trays under the wheel. That was so
Oh.
funny. We used to... I didn't actually. So I can round myself off of that. Other people used to take the plastic McDonald's trays, put them under the rear wheels of a front-wheel drive car or rear-wheel drive car, right? That's right. It was rear-wheel drive. And then as soon as you spin the wheels, it would start sliding. And you start doing burnouts. I think it was that. Or it was front-wheel drive. No, it might have been front-wheel drive and the back wheels just slid. And that's what it was.
I think that's it, yeah. And you fishtail a little bit.
Yeah, but they'd burn out in like 3 seconds.
Yes. And so what did we do?
It's tried to get drain grates. One night tried to steal the big metal drain grates to see if they'd work.
They kind of did from memory.
That was Ben's idea.
That's a genius idea.
Yeah.
Because it locked onto them as well.
Yeah.
And it
You
created
guys were wild. Because I
created the same effect.
I kind of like was a bit less social because I was playing at youth at that time. So I would be gone for a Friday night playing in the youth band. And then they started putting church sessions on a Saturday night when I was playing at the church. And then because they were like overusing me at the church. So I played 2 services on a Friday night for youth, 1 on Saturday night for church, then be back at 6 a.m. in the morning for the 2 morning sessions and then play Sunday night, like all weekend.
Yeah,
I remember there's one point where I used to get crap from you guys about that, always playing at church, or my family always having a birthday party on or something.
Yes,
you've always got a bloody
family events
Arnie's
on.
birthday or whatever I had to go. But I would miss out. But I'd check in with you some nights being like, all right, I'm actually off. What are you guys doing? Like, because it might get cancelled or I might get de-rusted or whatever, or someone else to play. So I was like the backup, but they, as in like, I'll do it if no one else can. And then, so sometimes people could do it. And I'd be like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, the new thing is like tipping over like water tanks in like people's businesses.
So the industrial estate
Yeah, go around the
in
industrial
Cardiff.
estate, tipping over water tanks.
There was one place in particular. We might have
That
to.
poor
We might have to.
business.
Yes, I know. So we jumped the fence. They sold hot water tanks, and we jumped the fence and just like knocked them all over. Like, what a like completely stupid thing to do.
That's so
we thought it was
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah. You're like, do you want to come and tip some water tanks over? And I was like, what are you guys doing? Leave you alone for 2 seconds.
But speaking of driving, like we obviously, someone introduced us to the idea of the McDonald's trays. We obviously weren't the first people to do that. But then we really enjoyed the idea of going drifting. And so we would go to there's like a field at the end of Cherry Road, the bottom of Cherry Road.
Oh, yeah.
And we would go there and it was like a slight slope and a lot of like grassed area. And we would just like get in the Camry and we would just like drift around on it. So like basically just like in like the like dewy winter, like midnight, it's like driving on ice essentially. And
well, as close as we get to it in Lake Macquarie.
Yeah, exactly. But then, and this was not long after I got my license and I was driving mum's car. So I'm just borrowing mum's car. And we went there and we were like skidding around and we ended up going a bit too far down to the bottom where it was all really boggy.
In the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we ended up bogged and we had to get Stiffy to come and pull us out. And then the car, because of we were revving it so much to get...
sentence, people who don't know that Stiff is the guy who can get Stiffy to pull us out. Yeah. That's funny.
From like revving the car so much to get it out, like it just sprayed mud all over the car and I had to drive it home and then it was like left in the garage for the next morning. It was like how people must feel if they've like killed someone and they've like left the body and there's blood and they're like worried about leaving the evidence in the car.
Funny.
Yeah.
You didn't take it through a car wash? We had no money.
We didn't think about that. Yeah.
I do remember there was one time after I finished youth and for some reason I challenged Brent to a drag race in the Lake Macquarie, whatever the place is called up the top. Hilltop. No, what's it called? Like the Lake Macquarie. Is it Lake Macquarie Fair? It used to be called years ago?
Yeah. Like at Manhattan.
Yeah. So in that car park. And I raced him in my mum's Estina at the time, but I had my quad in the back. I think I've lost by that much. I'm like, man.
I was Brent driving his Camry.
His little sky blue Camry wagon thing. That was so funny.
I challenged him to a drag race.
Went to a drag race in the car park. So funny. But
so these are all the memories that this album brings back for me.
Yeah.
Because that was around the time that we were listening to this so much.
That's a good point. Damn, that's not some fun ones for me.
All right, let's jump into the song ratings. Young and Aspiring. What'd you give it?
I gave it a crown.
So did I.
Yes, it's a great opener. Eh? That's so funny. I gave it a crown. It's a great opener. But use that terminology better. So it's an amazing opener. That's actually my note. Not great.
Yeah.
But
amazing energy to start an album.
Yeah.
It's like it explodes.
It also makes a statement of like, even though you may have heard us from our singles and you've bought our album to listen from the start, we're not going to start with like a poppy one that like will grab your attention. We don't care about that. This is one of the more progressive-y ones that you hear like later as well.
I was going to say that my note is it's almost progressive in structure.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have a particular chorus.
There's other songs on here that very much fit in this category of this song, and there's quite a few of them on the album, I think.
Yep. After I've said it doesn't really have a chorus. Like, my next note is that halftime chorus is so powerful.
Classic Sam instant contradiction, as will happen often on this show.
But it doesn't have like repeating. It doesn't follow a standard structure.
Yeah, it's not. It's
back
not
off, everyone. Back off.
The angry mob that you've created in your mind. I said Aaron really carries this one, even though Spencer rocks on it as well. I think that when Spencer's really good on this, of course, but when Aaron comes in, he's like, oh, that's the special sauce. That's the Underoath sound that everyone grew to love, and I think it's sick.
One of the first parts that he sings on the whole album it's so high. Like the pitch that he's singing at is like even higher than the rest of the album.
Is that the hold your breath part?
It might be.
Yeah.
It's one of his first like lines.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It just like it hits you, particularly in contrast to the screaming as well.
Yeah, definitely. Plus his voice was just so good that it was like emotional without being emo. You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
It's a weird way to say that, but like it wasn't like when people did emo singing, he wasn't trying to be overly emotional. He just had that depth and emotion to his voice. Everyone loved his voice. Everyone wanted to sing like Aaron Gillespie. Like,
it had like the perfect amount of like grit.
Yeah.
Like it was just,
but it had
but as well as having like the cleanness as well.
Yeah, but he also had like the Adam Lazzara range of being able to hit high stuff, but not crack on it. He was big and like had a lot of weight to his voice. I don't know, it just was awesome. And the fact that he was like such an eye attractive drummer to watch play. Like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, you can't take your eyes off him while he's playing because he's just so good and crazy. I remember when we saw him at the Roundhouse when they played there in Sydney. He went through like 3 cymbals on stage that night. And each cymbal was like $700 or something, like
from cracking them.
Yeah, just breaks cymbals because he plays so damn hard. Yeah, but everyone wanted to be him, like, and play like him.
I don't really remember having seen him and like whether he nails all the high bits live, the vocals.
Yeah, I think the only one that he didn't do, he nailed everything. I've seen him twice, I think now. One of the Roundhouse, one at Taste of Chaos.
Yeah,
and the only song that he didn't do the high part in was in Riding on the Walls from Define the Great Line, where it has the really big high note.
Okay.
But Tim does that part live, I think, now. He just yells it.
Oh, interesting.
But But no, this is sick. I do say one thing that I did learn from reading the lyrics. I always thought the line was feeling pretty, da-na-na-na, before he goes into it. I never liked that bit because that was like such a bad emo trend to me where it was always that thing about like, it's really weird. Do you know how people used to do that with emo songs where it's like, oh, feeling pretty, like, I don't know. Oh, you have a song that has that is literally the first line of the song.
Feeling pretty.
How can you sleep at night?
Yeah.
But
how fun is that?
That is funny. But they did that all the time. It was so emo. It was like, it was always about this like fragile beauty, but with like darkness and sadness. And I always found that kind of cringe.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
I went into the emo.
Ben's lyric was he was the first one to do it. So it was fun. Everyone else copied him.
But yeah, I thought it was feeling pretty. There's so many bands that did that kind of theme and I didn't like it. But it's actually feeling free.
Yeah.
So I kind of solved that for myself.
Yep.
But I have to say, before we move on, incredible ending. The way that this breaks into that half-timey big section at the end just goes off live because of that.
Yeah, right.
Because the song's already sick and that you're just waiting for that. It's like their equivalent of a breakdown that everyone's looking forward to.
And I'm not sure if this is in that same section, but where there's like, he's doing like the octave run with the synth underneath it.
That's the build-up part, I think.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And I love that section. Ambleside's, I'm pretty sure we stole that.
You loved your octave run.
We do. We love our
yeah, definitely.
Oh, the ending. I think I know what you mean with the ending. And then the way it transitions into the next song. It's so in your face. Yeah.
Alrighty. So A Boy Brushed Red Living in Black and White. One of the biggest emo songs of all time.
It is, yeah. Look, I said Flame.
Did you? I said Crown for this one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it really interesting? I was really like looking forward to listening to this song and it didn't hit me initially the way I was expecting it would.
Yeah.
But then the more I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, I can understand why.
I feel like that was my experience too this week listening to this album. I was like, expected it to be like immediately like, why haven't I been listening to more of this album? But I was like, oh, it's just not hit me. But I've had a really stressful week. So I was like, maybe I was very much cognizant of the fact at the time that I may not be in the best mindset to be listening to any music and finding it particularly moving.
And you needed the cool change to come through.
That's right. That's the weather. That's the thing that unlocks this album. But I went through a period where I loved this song, but I feel a bit fatigued by it.
Maybe that's why it didn't hit me initially.
We need a new term for the book club, I think.
Oh.
Because there's 2 songs on this album that I can't help but rate highly because they are Crown songs. But I'm so fatigued by them that I don't really feel like, I know they are, but I'm not connecting with them like they are.
Yeah.
Which is really
That's
weird.
actually my experience with this song.
Well, this is the thing. And you went to Flame. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's weird because then you go, okay, well then I was struggling with it throughout the week because I was like, well, if I don't connect with it,
we're not going to introduce another tier to the score.
No. just a term for it because I feel like I thought to myself, well, that means you just don't care enough about the song. So like, I was like, well, then rate it lower. But I can't in good mind or good conscience go, oh, the song's good. Like it's a good song. I know it's a Crown song. This is a Crown song, but to me, it makes me feel like a good at the moment.
Yeah.
Because and it's not because the song is a good. I know the song's a Crown. And I'm not rating it. People already saying, Jayson, stop overthinking this, I'm sure. Yeah. But I also am not rating this objectively going, I know everyone thinks this is a Crown. I know this is a Crown song, but I'm so worn out by it that I could have rated it. It would be wrong to rate it lower, but I don't know. I'm giving it a Crown, but I'm very fatigued by this song.
Yeah.
I've heard it so much that I'm just like,
overplayed.
Yeah. I know it's great, but I mean, I know it's a Crown, but
I felt that I think like nostalgia weighed heavily on my score for this song.
Yeah.
And then I was like, is that fair? Like, should I rate it that highly if I'm not connecting with it as much now? But the more I listened to it throughout the week, I was just like, this song was huge for me in getting me into this band.
Yeah.
I think the intro to this song was one of my favorite song intros, period of all time.
Guitars with
it's right in my wheelhouse.
The minor sounding chord progression.
Yeah.
It's 2 things you love at once.
Yeah.
And Aaron Gillespie's voice. But I will say that it is, I thought about that actually recently. When I was driving one day, I was like, is it fair that nostalgia affects the book club rating so much? This is what I think about in my spare time.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter how you get the emotional resonance, whatever emotion makes you feel that way.
Yeah.
Even if it can be just like, oh, the reason I love this song so much is because it was the song I had my first kiss to. And like, I don't care for that person anymore, but it's special to me because of that. The song isn't particularly great, but it's a flame because of that.
Yeah.
Then the song matters to you in that way. It doesn't matter about the sound of the song. So yeah, it doesn't matter how you get there.
Yeah.
You just get to the same destination.
It's not about the journey, it's about the destination.
That's what they say. But I said, this and Dangerous Business were so big back in the day. These 2 songs were huge. Yeah. Everyone loved this song.
And Reinventing Exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that when we get to that, but I have some interesting thoughts about that.
Do you? Okay.
Well, I think they're interesting. the pressure that this song put on young Christians, though, oh my goodness, like especially going through the church, especially the line "slit your wrist for sleeping with the girl next door." That's such that was a harsh line at the time in the song, like when it came out. But now looking back, like it like the guilt that this felt, that made people feel, that people felt because of this song was unreal. I remember it going around the church circuit, and this is what everyone was talking about,
right?
Because there was no Christian bands that were like, I mean, there was plenty of Christian bands, but like a lot of them were in less cool genres. This was very trendy at the time, and Underoath were very openly Christian, so a lot of people got behind them, which is part of the reason why I think so many people adopted Underoath as like liking them, because they're like, oh, I like that Christian band, but then they got into other bands in the genre as well.
Yeah.
Because Underoath used to do like full on, not really like altar calls, but like on stage they would say like, if you don't know Jesus Christ, like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They'd say that at the end of their set. I remember they did Bible study on Warped Tour. I saw videos of that where they would meet backstage with bands and essentially do that. And then Fat Mike like had some stuff to say about that.
I think they had a falling out with Fat Mike.
Oh right, yeah, because he said stuff about him on stage. But then I think that's because he's got a dry sense of humor.
Yeah,
but
it's interesting though. Yeah, this song for sure. But I was going to say, with the exception of this song and the last song, they're not really a preachy band in the lyrics. Like you wouldn't. Most of the lyrics, there's a couple of like religious references throughout it, but for the most part, it's not like.
Well, that's the
you
thing.
don't feel like you're listening to a Christian band for the most part when you're
listening to these guys.
Which is what
I think made them so interesting, is because Spencer, like they're a Christian band, or the singer has suffered struggle with drug addiction, and people are like, whoa, immediately complicates it. It's not just like they're a Christian band and every song is about some form of Christian narrative or like or a story or perspective. Yeah, it's really cool because a lot of it is him like crying out for help, and it's emo lyrics, but it's turning to God as a result of that, and that's why I thought they were interesting in that way. I think that my last note here is that this is such a great song to put in after such a big intro song. Like as soon as that song finishes, that huge breakdown to the "Can you feel your heartbeat racing?" It's gripped you for the rest of the album, because you're just like, that is. If that's what we're here for, I'm in. Sort of thing. Yeah.
It took me by surprise. I'd forgotten the track listing. And so I put it on. When that came on, I was like, oh, wow. That's on this soon into the record. I would have said like it's later in the album.
I would have thought it'd be like track 4 or something. Like just a little bit more in. Yeah.
I think the screaming in this song is really cool too, particularly because he like transitions from like deeper screams, not as deep as they'll become in Define the Great Line, but like deeper screams to high pitched screams to kind of like yelly vocals as well.
Yeah.
Which I love.
It shows the range cool. that Spencer can do.
Yeah.
Which I think, especially when this and Dangerous Business were like two very popular songs in the scene, if this is the first thing you heard, you kind of got an idea of what he could do.
Yes. Is he also singing in some sections, or is that Tim?
Yeah, I think that's him going my heart is dead, it's way past beating. I'm pretty sure that's
Spencer. Yeah, cool. So he's also a talented singer as well.
Yeah. I remember looking up one of his bands at one time. I don't know that much about him, but he sings a bit in that band.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
But when you have like was there? I mean, Bert McCracken from the Used was like the best at singing and screaming, but he wasn't screaming like Underoath were. Like that, Spencer has a different kind of scream.
Yeah.
But of what Spencer does, I don't think there's anyone better than Spencer. Like he had the biggest sounding voice, the most interesting like way he phrased his lyrics, etc. Like he was such a good writer out like on these albums too, which I think he probably doesn't get credit for. It's like great performance, but you forget he had to write that in the first place.
That's interesting you say that, because I was going to say, I wasn't going to say for this song, because I think the writing on this song is quite good, albeit the theme is a bit gross. I don't love his lyrics.
All right.
I find them hard to connect to for the most part.
I'm talking about phrasing on the like the way he writes his words around the music.
Oh, like vocal phrasing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah, and I totally agree with that. Yeah.
What don't you love about his lyrics? Did he write these lyrics? Because he came in late. I don't know if he actually wrote for the album. They might have had the songs written, and I
think he wrote his parts.
Okay. From memory, I thought he came in and the lyrics were written and he just performed them.
That's interesting. Okay.
I don't know. I could be. I don't know where I'm pulling that from.
Okay.
Because I like the lyrics on Define the Great Line.
Well, I'm just talking about this album.
Right.
I found them like hard to connect to. Like we've talked about this a few times. Like lyricists that are kind of like they're really good storytellers. There's like something specific about the vocals that you can really latch onto. Whereas I found these vocals not vocals.
They're a bit muddy lyrically. Like you don't really know you can see what he's trying to say, but you can't really connect with him there.
There's a vagueness to it.
Yeah. Which I don't know if it's intentional or if it's trying to be arty. Or maybe the latter.
I think it's probably the latter, but because I kind of felt like a few times it kind of just strays into cliche a little bit. That's my personal view. Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right. The Impact of Reason.
I gave this one a good.
Okay. I said great.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we both agree that it's a step down from the first two.
It is a step down, yeah. Really cool guitar intro. They do like...
Yeah, Yeah, it's to me this sounds very much like they're only chasing safety, which is why I was a bit what's the word, like conflicted with the rating.
Yeah,
because I was like, this is the song that sounds like Underoath to me, but
and like they're influential in so many different ways. But I think in the guitar work, subtly they were super influential, and like the kind of like the little like the dissonance in some of their riffs, just like slight dissonance in some of the riffs,
which they lend into hard on the next album.
Yes,
a lot of heavy, but low dissonance, not like high.
No,
like low. No.
Yep, sound like just then. But this is a good example of it, I think. And it was definitely influential on Kayla and I think, in terms of writing riffs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people love this because pop punk influenced into the emo genre, but that was essentially like, as pop punk would go, chord, riff, chord, riff, chord, riff. This would be like, emo started doing like that, but it was 6-5-1-4 progressions of like the same thing. This was like more interesting guitar parts that were not typical of the genre. So a lot of people are like, I want to learn that song. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And again, as we'll probably could say to every point, and on the next album even more so. They lent into that more with the next album. I just remember when this sound was new, it was so interesting at the time, and every band wanted to copy this in some way. Like everyone wanted to be like, how do we make it like the Underoath sound?
Yeah.
I was in like a pop punk band that was at that point shifting more towards like pop rock. But even I was like, how do we have the same energy as Underoath? Like they have so much energy on stage. Yep. And they see bands like Dillinger Escape Plan that would like literally run across the crowd, like run off the stage with a guitar and run across the crowd. Like that's crazy. People say it's swarm of bees, where they just like act like they're getting attacked by a swarm of bees when they're playing, because that's how crazy that is. But no, Underoath played with so much energy. Like they redefined what a live show energy was. Like so many bands had to up their energy game because of Underoath.
Imagine like supporting them.
Oh,
or imagine, sorry, no,
Underoath supporting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, the crowd would definitely be hyped up. You just couldn't compete because even like
kind of be exhausted by the time you started. Like imagine how flat you would seem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at bands like Motion City Soundtrack, Jesse, the keys player. Whenever you've got someone who, the violin player from Yellowcard as well, when you're not playing all the time, you need to somehow fill the energy so you're not just like standing there awkwardly waiting. And all of them, like both of them have their own way of doing that. But like no one comes close to Chris on stage. Like he just is going feral the whole set. And then, because sometimes he's literally just pressing a button to trigger everything.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he does is so cool.
Yeah.
There's this drum cam video that I watched of Aaron Gillespie doing Breathing in a New Mentality. Like it's from Minor Symbols or whatever. I've seen it so many times and I love it so much. And there's just this moment at the start where he's doing like this big swell on the cymbals, like waiting for it and just waiting. He's got like the whole like hair down sort of thing, like waiting for it. And Chris is like off on the side on his keys. And he just does this thing where he's like, he points like this and just goes like that. And that's all he does. But what he's doing is like he's pointing at him saying, I'm about to hit the click. And then he does that to be like, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and he goes into it.
Right.
But it's like, and the note with the energy of Underoath swelling and him just like clicking it like that, it's like a gunshot to him. And then they go in. It's like Underoath are the coolest band in the world.
Yeah.
Like that to me is just sick. But watching them live, he's just going crazy the whole time. Even like a lot of people would go, oh, I've just got to press a button this song and I've got a little synth line. But he finds a way to contribute more to the Underoath's energy than some of the other members. Like it's so crazy, which is
could
so cool.
so easily end up looking awkward.
Yeah. Or especially when you're that person, you'd be like, I may look like a fool right now, but he's so into the music. It's so authentic and cool.
Yeah.
I just wish I'd help him find a bloody phone.
Oh.
Sad memories.
So we both agree that this song is a drop down a little bit, but there's still definitely parts of this song I really like. I love the verses with the kick drum that's going like and like the slow kind of like drawn out vocals.
Yep.
And then it like contrasts really nicely.
I still think the chorus is pretty good. Like I think,
and again, it's another really banging chorus.
The chorus is better than a good, in my opinion. I just think the overall song is a good for me.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
But I was like, well, good to great. It's teetering on the edge, but I think it's more on the good side. But yeah. Alrighty, so Reinventing Your Exit.
I said Crown.
I said Flame for this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So interesting about this song. Can I just say why it's a flame for me?
Yeah.
I don't remember how we didn't talk about that in the beginning, but I don't know how I found Underoath. I think the first thing I might have heard was probably Dangerous Business, because I think I remember being in IPT, which is the computer class, with Ben. I think it was Ben who showed me Underoath, and that's no surprise for us, but anyone listening to the podcast will know that too. He showed me it because I think I remember the first thing I heard from them that was most memorable was the Drowning in My Sleep bridge part with the choir. I thought that was really cool and interesting. But I loved that song, and then the next song I fell in love with was Boy Brush Red. Like that's the two songs I loved so much. Then some people started talking about Reinventing Your Exit, and I dismissed it for so long. I never listened to it.
Why?
Well, I listened to
yes.
one or two songs, but I slowly started expanding on this album because I loved them so much. I was like, I've got to see if there's like the songs I liked bled into the next one. I love that, and then that's in my roster now. And then I'd forget to skip because when I drive, I'd always be hitting back to the song that I just listened to, or I would go into the next one and that's actually pretty cool, whatever. But Reinventing Your Exit, I don't know. I think when I first heard the intro to the first verse, I was like, this isn't for me because there was other songs that I liked the sound of more. This is the poppiest song on the album for sure.
Definitely.
But I remember one time I was like, I'm going to give it a go. And it was like every part of me that had forgotten how much I loved like pop punk. It's not pop punk, but the poppier stuff that I normally am drawn to was like, this is that song. I can have that in this band as well. And I remember just thinking, what have I been missing this entire time?
Yeah.
And it quickly became my favorite song on the album. And this is the song that now, as nearly 40-year-old Jayson, still is like, I love this song.
Okay.
I'm not fatigued by this at all.
Okay, I was going to say, is this the other one you're fatigued by? But definitely.
No.
Yep.
I gave that probably have given that away by now. This is songs I absolutely loved.
So I don't remember how I learned about them either, but it was probably through Ben.
Yeah.
And so one of my notes for Boy Brush Red was, this is definitely the song that got me into the band.
Yes.
I just have a memory of hearing that intro and just being like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah, great band.
But then my note for Reinventing Your Exit is, maybe this was the song that got me into the band. And that's going to slowly evolve throughout the album. So I'm actually not sure which was the first album I heard. Which was the first song and which was the one that pulled me in. Because this was the single. So it kind of makes sense that maybe this was the first introduction.
But I didn't hear this for forever because you got to remember, in Australia at least, we didn't get the singles out here as much because we didn't have the platforms that would kind of support the singles.
Look, that might be true.
We've had the like underground music videos things, and I think I saw the Dangerous Business video clip first. I think because it was on like an IPT, Ben loaded it on the computer because it wasn't. I didn't really know what Underoath were when I first heard them. I was like, this is like a heavier band.
Yeah.
During the punk rock vids era, but specifically Reinventing Your Exit, I remember around like 19 when I like really fell in love with this song. Like it was, it was a bit later, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I remember there was a band that like a friend's band that used to play around that I ended up playing with for a bit at like parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And they covered Reinventing Your Exit. And I remember just being like, yes, I'm so glad that I know this song now because if they had played this, I would have just missed it. But I think it was actually through them that they started playing it or talking about it or something. And when I was hanging out with them one day and I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah, right.
It's like, where has this song been? But it was well and truly after the album had been out for a while.
It's just so you.
Oh, it's
like
so me.
3 years later, you're like, I might listen to more than just a couple of songs on this album and we'll see what's
to my
here.
own detriment. But at the time, I listened to a lot more of the album. But then again, when I was like 19, I had the whole album on from start to finish. It took me years, but I unlocked the whole album eventually.
As you said before, it's definitely the poppiest song on the album.
Yeah.
Like in terms of structure, catchiness, everything. Even the screams sound like melodic almost at times.
Yeah, and like it's because I think the way the chords have such nice voicings in them that as they move, and even if he's just holding the line "Invincible," and the chords moving under it make it sound like it's more emotional than it is.
Sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then the chorus is just sick. The way that Aaron sings the up against the wall, it sounds so like Aaron Gillespie in Underoath. Like I think this is a really good representation of them, but not in the sense of what the rest of the album's like. Because I think if you came in through this song, you might be disappointed with the rest of the album.
Yeah.
But I think hearing Dangerous Business first or Boy Brush Red, you'd be happy and you'd be okay for this to be a bit poppier. Or maybe some people like, I've never liked this song, it's too poppy.
Oh, okay, interesting. Because I was going to say, one of the things I think is cool is that like this is the poppier song, but it's still got like swagger and feeling to it.
Yeah.
They haven't like produced that out. Like it's not like they've taken a song on there, this is going to be our single and it's going to sound like a complete outlier and it's going to...
True.
Like for me, it still fits and there's still a really nice feel to it.
I agree with that, but I also think that they're definitely touching on the line of it because the chorus, for example, doing the whole like singing, scream, scream, singing, scream, which was very emo at the time and very used. Not the used, but very used by bands.
Yes.
Like, and I think that they did it really well. But I do like that they didn't use that much for the rest of the album. Like they didn't go down the typical expected thing. I think that maybe they just knew this was going to be a single. So they're like, I mean, I'm not like, this sounds like I'm saying the opposite thing that you just said. I agree with what you're saying, but I think they're right on the line of doing it without overdoing it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I also think this is an album, this is a song that showcases the synth so well.
Oh yeah.
Because it's crazy how much like warmth and brightness it adds to the sound.
Yeah. It's also, on later albums, he got way more into the sound design of things that he did for certain songs. There's a song, I think, is it On My Teeth? Yeah, I think from one of their latest albums, I can't remember because I listened to a bit of their latest stuff, but not like a ton. There's some really cool synth lines at the start of that, like just this cool like kind of synth.
Okay.
But like
more
with this,
experimental. So.
Yeah, and it adds more to the soundscape of Underoath, which is really cool. This album, like you hear with Jerry Finn's work, a lot of the B2 organ behind the scenes that really fatten it up.
Yeah.
That if you might not even hear that Blink-182 has organ in it quite a bit, but if you removed it, you'd be like, well, where's the guts going in that chorus? I think there's a lot of that on this too.
Yeah,
so if you listen for it, there's so much going on synth-wise. Sure. It's not often you get to use words synth-wise. I'll take it.
All right, the Blue Note.
Yes. Context piece. I gave this a great.
So did I.
Yeah, I think genuinely this is maybe my favorite. I think I've mentioned it on the book club before where I talk about how to do context pieces and sometimes they don't have to be expected. This is probably my favorite example of an unexpected context piece that just makes you go, what? Like when it first comes in, you're like, what is that like brushes and jazzy kind of snare? Yep. But it's after Reinventing Your Exit, which is so poppy. And then you have this slow kind of thing with like weird talking-y kind of effects in it. And almost sounds like almost like saxophone, the way the guitar's moving. It feels like you're on a jazz bar or like a noir film or something.
Oh yeah.
And then it's setting up so perfectly the explosion that the next song is when it comes in, which I think that's all you need to do for a context piece.
It serves its purpose perfectly.
Exactly, serves its purpose. Because I mean, genuinely, a lot of times you find yourself scratching your head going, why would they have put this on the album? And on paper, you might be thinking, why would they be putting a jazzy kind of film, noir film soundtrack, detective black and white film sounding piece?
Yeah. It's like a detective following a suspect.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. That's what I hear in it. And then like, why would they do that at all? But then they nail it. It's exactly what the album needed.
And
how do they come up with this?
Yeah. As you said, it's so unexpected. It takes you by surprise. But then it's funny, like, that something's coming. Like, once you've been listening to it for about 30 seconds or so, you're like, I know what's going to come next. But then, that in turn just creates so much anticipation because you're like, when's this going to stop? Where are we going? And then, like, it's the perfect transition to the next song.
Especially a good little breakup between, like, a poppier song and then back to the more progressive Underoath sound.
Yeah.
But this, in my opinion, I don't know if there's a context piece that does it better. Maybe Intro to Stockholm Syndrome, but we know how contentious that point is. But
I declined to rate that and stormed out of the studio.
But I think that might be maybe the only one I rate higher than this because I think that is sick. Reading the poem out in the way that it does, setting up Stockholm Syndrome, is just sick. But anyway,
not a context piece.
At least, okay. Well, in that case, this is my favorite context piece. Just change the rules for some reason. Alrighty, so it's dangerous business walking out your front door.
I said flame.
I thought you might have.
Oh.
Yeah. I said crown for this one.
Okay. And are you fatigued by this?
This is my other fatigue song.
Okay.
I'm so fatigued by this. This is the one that made me write. We need a new term. I don't know what we could even call it. Has to be something to do with Underoath. Where it's like, I know this is a killer song, but because it's so killer, I played it to death. And now I guess it's and that's the thing. You might be able to say, well, then maybe it's just you don't connect with it like you did when you were younger. That's a different feeling. I think that's when you go, I've outgrown this. I know this is still a Crown song. I just am over it a bit.
Yeah.
But I've been over. But what's weird about it is that I've been over it since like I was 20. Like it's just never really come back.
Yeah.
But I know
that flame burned fast and hard. And
exactly. But it's just if it's on, I'm like, yeah, I know this is a Crown song. But I usually find myself wanting to, if it comes on a playlist, like, oh, cool, yeah, I know that's already sick. I don't really need to listen to it. Yeah.
My first note is, oh wait, maybe this is the song that got me into the bed. It's I know where you're coming from because it took me a while to get back into this band because I don't listen to Underoath.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's like, and I was expecting to love it more than what I was when I first put it on.
Yeah.
Because I know when we did The Used, like it hit me and like,
oh yeah.
Whereas this one, I didn't have that. I had to work it a little bit more to get back into like this style of music.
Yes, because this is more progressive. Used is a bit closer to being more like structured.
Yes.
And I think that makes it easier. Progressive music is more of an acquired taste than just structured music, I guess.
That is, but then once I kind of got the juices flowing, I was like, yeah, this is still a flame. Like it's an all-time song for me.
Yeah. And as I said, such an interesting production idea, especially at the time with the choir singing Drowning in My Sleep was so like, what? Like after the blue note into the explosion into this song, because I down, into it is so sick of an intro.
Those like pan guitars, that was super influential as well. Like everyone wanted to do that.
Yeah. And live, when you'd see it live and you'd hear the guitars from different amps do that part, is just so cool. But then getting into that bridge, you were just like, what? Like I never saw the song going here.
No.
And then when they start playing over the top of the choir, it's like, wow.
Did you hear a story about how they got the choir involved?
I may have, but like that, just you saying that makes me vaguely, but I don't remember what it was.
I think they had to, it's a church choir and they had to tell them that it's like a church song or,
Drowning in My Sleep.
Well, I think they had to try and explain what the song was about to try and basically just.
What the song is about shocked me because I thought I knew. I was like, oh, this is a song about a car crash and your partner dying. And it's that thing of like, I knew that lyrically. I remember finding that out back in the day. But the way it's written in the guide here that Aaron Gillespie said, there's this guy and he's driving this car and he's so in love with this girl that he decides to kill them both.
Yeah.
I was like, decides? I was like, WTF? Like, that's crazy. I thought it was just you're in a car crash and it's with someone that you love and that's the song is the tragedy of that. Wow. But the idea being like, I can't ever love you like Jesus loves the church. Do we not see that I'm prepared to like, even for the sake of like an artistic exercise, entertain the idea of killing someone in a car crash because I could never love you like Jesus loves the church. Are we seeing a bit of like a problem here?
Oh, yeah.
A mental problem, like potentially of like a mentality problem?
Yeah, it's gross.
But I also think it's probably not confused, but like the emo hormones going at the time.
The emo hormones.
You know what I mean? Like the emos. It's like a Ramones emo cover band. But it's like that at the time, everyone was processing through different things. And because they were so involved in the church, it was like a complicated, messy way of dealing with those emotions. And this kind of came out the other end of the sausage grinder, so to speak.
Yeah. I wonder if they regret that though now looking back. Like,
if it just said it was like about someone who died in a car crash and dealing with them, it's perfectly fine. But the idea of like, but imagine like, it's like a pretty dark, morbid kind of idea of like killing someone because you could never, like in a car crash because you could never love them enough. It's like.
But it's not just never love them enough. It's about, what's the Jesus reference?
It specifically is that we're supposed to, in the Bible, it says that we're to love our wives as Christ loved the church, which is an impossibility because we don't have the capacity to love like Christ does, and it's impossible. Yeah. So I'm saying I could never love you as much as I am meant to.
So I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, because I love you, but it's just not enough.
Yeah.
Very weird. But I didn't know that. That's cool. That's why it's a flame for me because I can relate to that.
No, I will say it's not because of the lyrics.
I did say though that thematically, this song being about a car crash has always reminded me of, and tell me, you can maybe fill this in because I didn't do my homework to find out exactly why that is. But I've always thought this song reminds me of Quiet Things by Brand New, The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. That's a song about a car crash too, isn't it? Or at least in the film clip, it has a car crash.
The film clip definitely has one. I'm just wondering whether the song itself.
Maybe that's why it reminds me is because of the film clip. But I've always been like this song and Quiet Things because they're both car crash themed.
Yeah. And the Deja and Tandu connection. Yeah. They were influenced by them.
Maybe.
I'm just trying to remember whether
Understanding in a Car Crash by Thursday. I'm just saying, trying to think car crash song.
Whether the lyrics of the Brand New song, what was it called?
The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. Yep. Their poppiest song on that album.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's about a car crash. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Draft. Top car crash songs. Just look in the top 5. Oh, top motor vehicle tragedies.
Down, Set, Go.
Can I guess what you gave this one?
Sure.
Is this another flame for you?
It's not.
Oh, really? It's not? Okay, well, I gave this a great.
Okay. I said Crown.
Okay. Because you and Kale loved this song back in the day.
Well,
Yeah. I remember when we were going to see Underoath, you both were in the NPC at school being like, man, I hope they play Down, Set, Go. And I was like, I don't think they're going to play Down, Set, Go. I'm like, oh, they will. And Kale was like, they will, man, they will. The Down, Set, Go is like one of their biggest songs. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I don't, To Find the Great Line's just come out. I don't think that, I didn't know what they were going to play first, but my girlfriend at the time, she's like, I'm sure they're going to open with In Regards to Myself. And I was like, no, they'll open with, I was just young and stupid, young and aspiring. But I was like, they'll open with something that people know, like maybe Dangerous Business or something.
I'm pretty sure they have opened with that before.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was something like that. And then at Taste of Chaos in Sydney Arena or whatever it was, and they went to start, In Regards to Myself, and she told me like, told you. And then I was like, what? Because I was like, that's such a cool opener.
Yeah.
But I thought that album was a bit of an acquired taste at the time. Like a lot of people hadn't completely fallen in love with it. So I thought that maybe they go with something more, I don't know. That would have been a terrible idea to do that. You should open with the song that you're trying to make people like. But everyone were mental
and
for
I guess
it.
that's the most accessible song on that album, probably.
Really? Writing on the Walls, I think.
Oh, okay. You might
Yeah.
be right. Fair enough.
I like that one. But In Regards to Myself is definitely the other one too.
Yeah.
We should do that one day. Anyway.
Yes.
But yes,
Is it
this song.
emo though? It's like a different genre altogether.
Yeah. It's like progressive. We could probably squeeze it in. Like
Yeah.
we broaden
It's
the
in a
umbrella.
broad universe.
Yeah.
But look, my first note is Kale and I wanted to write a song like this so bad.
My first note is you and Kale loved this song so much back in the day. That was my first note.
We were obsessed.
I knew you loved this song.
And we would listen to these guys like on the way to band practice. And then we would listen to them coming home when we're like lamenting the fact that we're never going to sound like Underoath. And then we would go to, do you remember on Beaumont Street, there was like there was an area, like a late night food court type area.
Oasis where the pit is and stuff.
That's right. Yeah. And there was like a noodle shop.
Yeah.
We used to go and get noodles there after band practice and like, we'd be so much less optimistic than we were on the way to band practice.
Man, what a time of life. We had nothing to worry about other than not sounding like a fantastic band.
But we totally wanted to sound like this. I don't know, like of all the songs on this album, I'm not sure why we honed in on this one in particular.
Neither, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I've given it a crown. I think it's an amazing song.
Yeah.
But just in
I can understand
maybe we
the crown.
thought that this might have been like achievable, whereas like
Yeah,
writing a song
okay,
like
yeah,
Dangerous
yeah.
Business, like
It's too. Yeah, right.
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's probably the energy. I'm not sure.
it does have great energy.
It
for
does
sure.
have great energy.
Yeah, it's so aggressive and it's got like an epic chorus.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
banging chorus. I think
Yeah.
the chorus of the song is great. I considered a crown for this song. I
Yeah.
just don't think it grabs me like the crowns do.
Um,
But also, this is the song where he said there was an attempt at a brand new song, or this was an attempt at a brand. They were influenced by Deja and Tendu at the time. I was like, no way. Sounds nothing like it. This does not sound like Deja
no,
and
you
Tendu.
never would have guessed.
Because I read that as the song started when I was listening to it. And I was like, as I was doing my notes, and I was like, wow. And I was listening to it for like a verse or two into the chorus. I'm like, I would never have picked this as the Deja
there's
and
no way.
Tendu song.
The bridge and outro on this song are amazing.
Yeah.
That like the outro with like the screaming and like he's doing like a Fred Mascherino style riff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's a term we use a bit. Fiddly riffs.
Yeah.
I love, which you never will get the reference, I'm sure, but the Gnip Gnok section in the first pre-chorusy bit. The dun, 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 dun. It's like a weird time signature essentially because it's like a polyrhythm over the top of the normal thing before it comes into the actual chorus.
Okay.
And it sounds like Gnip Gnok, Gnip Gnok, which is a term that Dream Theater use in I think Dance of Eternity.
Right.
And they talk about a Gnip Gnok section because he goes you know that song. That's pretty close to what I just did there. But it's a Gnip Gnok like style with that Dream Theater did. But that's the way they did. Instead of hitting a riff that's in like perfect time with the music, it has its own thing that polyrhythms over the top, which throws you off a bit and then cracks into the chorus, which makes the chorus hit harder. Yeah, that's why it's good. Then the next time they don't do it, but I still think that's sick how they do it for that too.
Yeah, cool.
Really, some really interesting synth ideas with this. I'm just getting like over the course of this episode, just getting more and more covered. Getting more and more covered by pillars.
The note that he hits at the start of the bridge on What Lies We Can Be.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. And like this, that's probably why, talking about ambition, Cal would want to be able to bang something like that out. That's so much in what he would want to be able to do. But no, this, I think this is a good example of, it's like halfway between Reinventing Your Exit and something way more progressive. It's like it's like, I think it's really cool. Like if there's a big circle of the genre of Underoath, all the songs kind of like not equally cover it, but like they all do their bit in covering the whole circle. So there's some songs that sound similar, but they all kind of fit together. It's not like you have an album that sounds all the same and then like outliers that are the singles. Yeah, I think it's really cool. Yeah. And this to me, it feels like it's halfway between maybe like Young and Aspiring and Reinventing Your Exit, or like Boy Brush Red, something with a bit more structure. It's got the structure, but it's got the aggression of some of those other songs, particularly where he's like screaming that Whatever I Say Goes. The Whatever I Say Goes part is so good. Yeah. Oh, so good. Alrighty, so I don't feel very receptive today. I said great for this one. I said crown for this one. Okay, I thought you were going to go higher on this one. I love this one. Yeah. I did. I loved it back in the day. But this again was a late listen on the album, like with Reinventing Your Exit. Well, but it became one of my favorites. One of the reasons why I think, or why I was expecting you to like this one more was, to me, this is the most like transition-y to the Define the Great Line sound. Yeah. Yeah. Like in terms of like the structure or lack of structure, like the rhythms. I think they did a perfect bridge song, which is the one that we didn't do as part of this album. But I have 10 friends and a crowbar that say you won't do jack. It was the bonus track that they did, or they released like before Define the Great Line came out. I remember a friend of mine saying to me, that is like the perfect bridge song because they'd heard like demos somewhere of like Define the Great Line. They're like, that is literally in the middle of Around the Chase and Safety and Define the Great Line. So I know what you mean. Like there's definitely the 10 Friends and a Crowbar vibe in this song.
Okay, sure.
Vibes between this and
the bridges
in this song. Yeah.
Yes.
There's that vibes in this song as well.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about the fact that it ties to this. I got too confused in my mind.
That is like maybe on the Mount Rushmore of emo song titles.
I got 10 Friends and a Crowbar.
Not in a good way. But yeah.
Oh, so funny when people did massive long.
Yeah.
That would be up there with Okay, I Believe You, but my Tommy gun doesn't.
Yeah.
That's another one.
One of the
there was
Fall Out
worse
Boy
ones too. Oh man, there's that one I think I talked about on the book club that I saw online that made me literally never vomit. It was like, well, if I'm Audrey Hepburn, if you're Audrey Hepburn, then I'm, oh man, I hate that. I erased it from my mind because I was like, this is the worst song title I've ever heard.
This is like one of the only songs on the album that lacks like a big melodic chorus. Don't you reckon?
Which is when they're like fully leaning into their progressiveness, which is cool. But in the more emo sound rather than the progressive, what would you say, alternative metal sound of Define the Great Line? Like, what would you
I don't even know.
Yeah, but that intro part where he does the very first line, this door or whatever, that sounds so much like Bert from The Used.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like to the point where it could be. Like it's that close.
Yeah, maybe they
vocally.
got him in.
Yeah. But that part where, again, like...
They're friends with Kelly Osbourne and she brought him in.
One of the... some of the lyrics on this album every now and then is just very emo. Like the lyrics. Like that one where it says, I feel like cutting it open tonight and falling on the floor. It's like... I feel like bands... Maybe it's just because I'm a dad now, but like... I don't know if bands understood the responsibility they had of when people who were very depressed listening to music. I would never want to put lyrics in that would allow people to, like, not even just, I mean, there's songs like Adam's song that were quite depressing, but like with Blink-182, but it still had like a positive spin on it. Yes. But there's songs where you just go, damn, like that is straight up, you're just saying like, I want to end my life. And you might just be like, that's how I feel. But for some people, I'm not saying that he didn't ever feel like that. I get that. That's why people write it in music. But there might be people that is like leads to them making that decision, which I would feel like there's a huge responsibility to.
It's tough, isn't it? Because I guess the artist wants to express themselves. However they want to express themselves.
Maybe I'm just being a big worrywart, but I would hate. I wouldn't. If my kids were depressed, like if I was an adult, if I was like a parent and my kids were depressed, I would be like, I would be one of those parents, be like, steer clear of that.
Is this the right music for your headspace right now? Because sometimes you want to lean into that style of music when that is your headspace.
Cathartically processing music is fantastic like that, but I think when lyrics are this blunt, like you want to, they're trying to. How do you listen to that without just relating to it? And for some people, it can be cathartically processing, but some people could step into like a real darkness,
a literal thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because when we did the Pup album, they're like really reflective about their. Like where they're coming from in terms of their vocals. I'm pretty sure the frontman of that band has said specifically, or one of them has said, kind of something similar to what you're saying, but having a responsibility. Like,
we don't want people to, that we talked about that on that episode. We don't want people to do that.
Yeah.
But they also don't say things like, this is literally how I would take my own life. Like, and that's what this line is. It's like, that is pretty harsh.
Yeah.
I love that though, just to completely change my tune on it, is it's just randomly in the break. It's so good. I gave this a crown, but I averaged it as a crown because I feel like the first, you gave it a great?
I gave it a great, yeah.
I think most of the song is great, but the ending section to me is a flame. So where it changes the...
Yes.
I love that part.
I thought you meant like the outro where it's like totally different song.
Into that as well.
Into that.
Yeah. So the way it goes into that like brown noise and then to thing.
That made me think of Define the Great Line.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I used that so much in my own writing, is where I'd have a vibe of a song, and at the very end, I would bring that back with just a soft drum beat of just the vibe of the chords or whatever.
Yes.
Because I'd heard it in songs like this, and I love the sound of just letting it kind of just think about that riff on the way out of the song. And I think that's such a cool thing. Because when I first heard it, I was like, whoa, what a cool idea of just bringing that back with like bass chords. I think they are with heaps of reverb on them with like a really soft drum beat. But then, again, like you can hear little glimpses of the musicality that was soon to be unleashed on Define the Great Line. And I think this is one of the songs that did that. But I love that kind of complete change. And then the chords, dun, 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 dun. It's just, that is like Young and Aspiring with just like huge live sections.
Yeah.
I think when we saw them,
I
think when we saw them, they played this, at least at one of the shows. And I was so surprised because I didn't think that they would do that. Before we go on, I saw a reel the other day that was like Aaron Gillespie talking about when he played drums in Paramore for like 4 years or 5 years after after when Underoath broke up. And one of the comments was like, no way, I didn't know he played drums in Paramore. I love the Almost. It's like, oh, that's how you know him. Like maybe you've got into the Almost and you never listened to Underoath and you're like, oh, the guy from the Almost plays drums in Paramore. That's so funny.
Did you like the Almost?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool to do on the book club one day because I haven't really listened to that. I mean, listened to a little bit, but like not a lot.
Not for ages either. Kayla and I love that band as well.
Oh, what?
I
We
think
should
it was
do
really
that on
only
the book club.
Southern Weather was the only album I really remember listening to.
That's their only album.
It is the only album.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. So, no. The only album I listened to. They did another album called Monster, I think.
Oh,
Monster
you're right.
Was the next one? I never listened to Monster ever.
I remember like the first.
Maybe the single.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, at that time, I think I was into listening to other music. So
yeah,
I
sure.
I played.
It was a little bit like when Fred Mascherino did The Color Fred. Like it just
Yeah. It wasn't the same.
No.
But I played that Almost CD till it was like clear. Pretty much, I had it on in my car all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were some songs that he was obsessed with Johnny Cash on that album. It was when Johnny Cash, like when Walk the Line, the movie came out.
Yeah.
And it was like so much so. Like I remember
I remember thinking that.
Well, I saw a live clip and that's Say This Sooner is very Johnny Cash.
Yeah, sure.
He even says at one point, something wearing jet black in this, which is like a Johnny Cash reference. And live,
Gosh.
and he said he really loved Johnny Cash. And I remember I saw a clip of them doing Say This Sooner live and he's walking around on stage, Aaron Gillespie, and he's like, because you're mine, I walked the line. I fell into a burning ring of fire. And it's like, bro, we get that you love Johnny Cash. But he was like, loved Johnny Cash. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
With
the next song.
Oh, we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. I'm content with losing.
Yes, I gave this one a crown.
Oh, okay. I said great.
All right.
Although I did, my last note is I had to be careful not to futures tax this one.
Yeah.
I flirted with a crown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think really interestingly, I think we might have a very close rating because you've given some flames out where I haven't, and you've given greats out when I've given 2 crowns.
Yes.
But this is the sound that I love about Underoath, like the previous song. Like it's that progressive kind of thing. So to me,
but then it adds in the big epic chorus again, like the big melodic chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yep. Sorry. Yep. I had to remember exactly what part it is. And the part was like, and I'll tie it around with the chords. Oh, so sick. I love this song so much back in the day, and I still do now. I think these more progressive ones, I think, have aged a little bit better.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you reckon that's just because it's the less cliche emo-y of the time? You reckon that's it?
Maybe. Or maybe for you in particular, given how much you love To Find the Great Line, which is more of that style, maybe you're pulling or you're like latching onto the elements of this album that kind of vaguely fit that other style more.
Yes. That's a good point. Yeah. I said that this song reminds me of when I used to spin it in Teasin, driving around in Teasin, driving around
spinning
town.
it.
Spin this record.
Expression.
Yeah, it's like a record. Spin it.
Yeah, I know. But just
frisbee it into the CD player, straight to track 9. Content with losing.
There are a couple of lines on this I absolutely love his vocal delivery. Like the leave your baggage at the back door line.
Yeah.
Is sick. And then the other one is you, my dear, are the one I fear tonight in the second verse.
That's
so good.
And yeah, exactly. And then I also agree with as I said, and I'll tie it around, the way he like builds up to it rather than just hitting it high. You start to hear like the experimentation vocally.
Yeah.
But this is one of those ones that I think maybe people might, if you like the singles, you might consider this one and the last song to be more fillery. But to me, they're bangers. Like this is dealing with the songs that are not singles at all, where it shows where people really do separates the men from the boys kind of thing.
Men from the boys. This album has no filler. This should be a filler song. You gave a crown, I gave a great. I haven't given anything less than a great on this whole album.
I gave a good.
Oh, you did a good, yeah.
Yeah.
But you did give a good.
I do go. Just one of us will get it right.
It's kind of not dissimilar to Old Mate, in that sense.
Oh.
Just like 10 songs.
Straight bangers,
No filler. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point. It only has 10 songs on this album, so it's almost like they didn't want to include anything that they could even be remotely close to filler.
Well, I wonder if they had like songs that got stripped.
Maybe.
Which shows really good. Before we move on, the bridge in this song is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The little like those cuts that it's doing, and then it builds back up again.
Yeah.
And then like the vocal layering in that outro is so good. There's like screaming, but then there's like elements of the chorus coming back over the top.
Yeah. I feel like this one...
I'm not going to do an impression.
I feel like this strikes a good balance between the more structured songs and the progressive ones. Again, it's like the Venn diagram just slowly makes its way around the whole circle of the album genre. Which is really cool. But this one's sick. Again, it was... I think I liked this one because it bled in from the last one that I just got into late, but I remember just listening to this album so much. It just reminds me of like, again, like just to nostalgically reminisce for a sec, but it was like an album that I've tied so much to the freedom of not only having your license, but not being in school anymore. So you could just go wherever you wanted and do whatever you wanted. Like you're over 18 now, so you could, well, when I got into the song, but like you could drive anywhere.
You're 30, you know?
But you can do whatever you want. So like I remember like, you know, going on holidays and going different places and being there by yourself for the first time, like as in like without parents or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Like just it's early adulthood, this album.
Yep.
But again, to me, with the cool weather.
Isn't it funny how like different people will find different aspects of nostalgia to identify with on an album? Like for you, it's that period after high school where you're a young adult and you've got that independence.
Yeah.
For me, it's late high school, like year 11, year 12, when you've got your license. You've still got independence, but in a different sort of way.
Yeah.
That's the period that I really remember listening to this album. I don't remember listening to it a ton once high school finished.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking about being about 18 then. Maybe it was the end of year 12.
Yeah.
But maybe not 19. But I mean, it's funny because people keep listening. It's like 6 months to a year, but it's like so much change within 6 months to a year back then. Now everything's the same. And with that, we find ourselves at the last song.
We do.
Of the second album of the Emo Book Club.
The second season of the pop-up.
of the year 2026. Some will seek forgiveness, others escape.
I said great.
Yeah, same. I said great for this one as well. I thought you might have gone a bit lower than me on this one.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, I don't know why.
I flirted with going with a crown.
Okay.
But landed on a great. There's like parts of the song, like I think from when it kicks off, it's like crown tier, but before that, it doesn't quite get there. Like it's still a great, but
the chorus is crown tier, I think.
Yeah, okay.
The way that it has the pretty guitar lines and the way it's singing.
I mean, it's super pretty.
Yeah, I love the Copeland feature. I think this is what made me get into Copeland.
Right. Yeah,
I honestly haven't listened to Copeland. A lot of these albums I've, at least, because I love nostalgia, so I'll randomly think of an album and go, I'm going to chuck that on.
Yeah.
I haven't chucked on a Copeland album maybe since I was like 19.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you a Copeland song.
What is that really well-known one that they have? You couldn't tell me. I was asking. I'm going to find it out. There's actually a really well-known Copeland song they used to love so much. But when I first heard this song, I was like, who is that in the band? Because I didn't know it was a Copeland's feature. Oh, You Have My Attention. That's the song I used to listen to so much. 2005, In Motion. So that's how long ago that was. Wow. Because he has such a pretty voice.
Oh, I remember the album cover now. Yes.
Yeah. You Have My Attention was an awesome song. How weird is it to have such a prominent feature on a song where you have first of all, you have a guy in the band who do this. Maybe not to the level of delicateness that the Copeland singer has.
So wait, which parts is he singing?
The whole first verse up until the big loud part. That's all him. I think.
So Aaron's not singing the chorus?
Maybe he is. I'm not sure. It's definitely the
definitely sounds different.
He's in the verses for sure.
Right. Okay.
But such a boxcar-esque, like, feature, but also is your last song on the album. Like takes a lot of the song.
It does.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
And it's not like, it's like, this is how we want to finish it. Really cool.
I actually think this is one of the best closing tracks we've had so far in the book club.
I said that. As an ender song, it's up there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's so good.
Especially when the competition's like, what's that song you hate? I'm Lost Without You by Blink.
Oh. Remember when someone said that was a
flame? Yeah.
A flame.
Every time you react the exact same. It's so funny.
I feel like they're just taking the piss. There's no way you could legitimately think that song's
And I tell you, every time that the person who said that said it was because their grandparents passed away or something.
No. They're wrong.
No.
They're wrong.
I think this would have gotten a lot of people into Copeland because a lot of people coming from Underoath would have been like, who's that really pretty voice?
Yeah.
And I think I may have known, maybe this got me into Copeland, but I think I knew of them and I was like, oh, that definitely, I know it was because I remember hearing it going, oh, that definitely is a guy from Copeland. I can hear that now.
Right.
But it made me want to listen to them more. You know what I mean? Because it definitely did well to bring people over to them.
Yeah.
I've told this story before on the podcast before, but this is the song I should say. In case people are just checking in, the song when my brother fell asleep listening to this song, falling asleep about how pretty the song is, and when it gets loud, just sat right up out of bed, scared the crap out of him.
Well, it's building to something. But I don't think you expect it like quite that.
You could expect it to essentially just peter out and be pretty and not even get to a loud part.
I don't know. I can't remember what I was thinking when I first listened to it, but like there's clearly a build.
Yes. But then it's like the way that it explodes in, there was honestly the only other real example of that that was around at the time was Letters to God by Boxcar. Who knows? Maybe now knowing that Underoath were influenced by Brand New, perhaps they were influenced by Boxcar. I'm like, Letters to God is sick where it gets real loud at the end. We should do that in a song.
Yeah.
But I did that. I was like, that would use that in one of my songs. I love the idea of getting really loud at the end out of nowhere. Like that's just, and it really worked. I think it's a cool, keeping the song really down the whole song and the last like quarter is loud or last 20% is loud. It's such a strange idea, but it's really cool.
Yeah. And to explode rather than to build into something really big section.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And boy, does this song explode in. It's like that high note of the home is just so loud and in your face.
With
it's
the
so
scream,
good.
I think, as well at the same
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
So,
The lyrics are a little too preachy and self-righteous.
Yeah. Because he says Jesus.
Well, he doesn't. Well, he does, but it's more just, I don't know, suggesting that people are lost and I'll help you and
Oh, yes, sure. I understand where you can see.
That part kind of hasn't aged as well, but it's still an amazing song.
Yeah, definitely. Because Copeland, were they a Christian band?
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't want to like put words in people's mouth, but I thought from memory they were.
You're Christian.
But I do wish that we did And Friends in a Crowbar. That's my note that I was like.
Have you read it?
No, I haven't, but I probably would give that potentially a flame.
Whoa.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, just listen to it because I don't really remember it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't elect not to include it. It's just that it's not on
the. No. It was on a re-release of the album.
Oh, re-release. Okay, cool.
This one.
Listen, party.
We'll be right back. It's so much a bridge between that and Define the Great Line. You can hear like Spencer experimenting so much more with his vocals, but the lows and stuff, it's so cool.
But then it's still got a chorus. It sounds like it could have been on.
Yeah.
They're only chasing.
100%.
They're only chasing.
100%. It's the perfect bridge song, I think.
Yeah.
But that is, to me, that very much reminds me of like Cold Winter Nights driving around.
Yeah.
That song. Okay. Specifically around the S-Bends coming out just over here when I go to like another town, like another suburb.
Yeah.
I just remember driving around there listening to this song. It was so sick. Again, like finding adulthood. I don't know. Just like finding out like what you're going to do with your life. Love that. Alrighty. So that's it. Brings us to the end of the second album that we've done for the book club. Yeah, tell me, what did you end up rating this one?
So it's pretty high.
Yeah. Well, we have to say about where it would sit. Like just for, it's not going to, of course, it's not going to go into this pop punk book club, rating thing. I think I've added, oh no, Hoss didn't make it. Oh, did it? I think it did. I didn't add it. Oh my goodness. We need to be more on top of this.
You're a bit behind.
I am, yeah. I keep forgetting. I don't really know when to do it. Some of it's written on the actual board because we lost the magnet tape. Where I put it.
I actually don't know. What did I give Hoss? Maybe I need to put Hoss on there as well.
I think Hoss for me actually was higher than Ramones. Anyway, what'd you give this one?
I gave this a 5.7.
Oh, that's higher than me.
Is it?
Barely. A 5.6 for me.
5.6. Okay.
Oh, actually, like I thought that was going to be much higher than the rest of the albums. That to me would be above Morbid Stuff, underneath Blink-182 self-titled.
For me, it comes in at second. Or it would come in at second.
Ooh, that's crazy.
It's behind Does This Look Infected by 0.5.
Wow, that high.
Yeah.
Does This Look Infected for me was 5.92.
Yes, okay.
What was yours?
5.75.
Ooh, okay, right. So, yeah, damn.
Yeah.
There's
0.5, 0.05. It's like only just under.
That is crazy.
And so it would, come in higher than War and Errorism.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's also kind of wild is that, I said earlier in this episode and you agreed that the album didn't really connect with you as you'd hoped it did. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt. When I first listened to it, my first reaction this whole week was just like, not the whole week, sorry, the first time I listened to this album. I was like, if I want to listen to Underoath, I'll listen to Define the Great Line.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd be sitting here right now, saying this right now, saying, if I wanted Underoath, I'd listen to Define the Great Line. This album's just not for me. But then it really did connect with me throughout the week. I just had to resettle back into it.
Yeah.
And also not be in the state of mind that I was in the entire week.
Yeah. And you needed the cool change, obviously.
I needed the cool change to unlock me.
Well, because for me, this is my Underoath album. Like I like Define the Great Line, but I never connected with it quite as much as you did.
Well, I've rated that album using our rating system because I thought that we just wouldn't do it inside the book club.
So what did you come to?
Who's to say if we did it, then again, I did it ages ago. So I didn't do it like recently. Right. But I just looked up my ratings of. So honestly, it could be slightly different. I did a lot of the albums that I rated like that pretty quickly. I don't give them like the full week. So perhaps if we did it for the Emo Book Club, it'd be interesting to see if it is like can compare or if it is the same.
Yeah.
But I ended up rating that 5.82. So that's,
Whoa.
which I thought was going to be like maybe my top album. But like I've still got Does This Look Infected and Futures above that.
Oh,
so it'd be number 3 for me still.
Yeah, sure.
But Define the Great Line, regardless, is one of my favorite albums of all time. I love that song. That album so much.
If we were adding it to the list, where would They're Only Chasing Safety come for you?
5.6 would be my 4th favorite album. So both of them are really high.
Yeah.
There's a pretty big gap. It goes from 5.73 for Blink-182 self-titled down to 5.36 for Morbid Stuff.
Right.
And Morbid Stuff's sick. So like, it's like, we're talking about elite company here.
Yeah.
Tell you what is interesting, bud.
Right.
Because this is the second album of the Emo Book Club, we need to somehow keep a little tally of our ratings for the Emo Book Club.
We do.
So, do you want to know what? We both gave the Used the same rating.
Did we?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the Used while we're sitting here.
I've already got it.
You got my rating as well, do you?
Yeah, because we have the same rating. Just said that. We both gave the Used 5.5. So realistically,
I'm just checking you. I don't want to be.
Realistically, that
5.5. You're right.
Still would be 4 for me as well. So
me too,
high.
actually. Tie for 4.
Our emo album. We are picking the best of the best.
Yeah, that's right. It's a different
albums up the top. We do love them. So 5.6 for me for They're Only Chasing Safety. 5.5 for the Used. Like you've got
5.5 and 5.7.
So yeah, we've both got this above the Used.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't expect that because the Used was rated so high.
Yes, I know.
But yeah, and especially starting the album this week, going, I don't know if it's for me.
Yeah,
that's funny.
What a massive swing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fugazi's getting a bump.
Fugazi. Oh no. I thought you meant Fugazi's getting a bump off the list. I'm like, we haven't done a Fugazi album. I don't think you'd pick that because I don't know if you'd like Fugazi.
I'm not a massive Fugazi fan.
Yeah.
How many of the bands from the posters have we not done?
We should do that. MXPX, we haven't done one of theirs yet.
Still, yeah.
Done a Goldfinger, done Newfound, done NoFX, done Blink, done
Screeching Weasel.
We're going off pictures of the live shows. We've done Melancholy and haven't done Motion City Soundtrack yet.
Correct.
So keen to do that one day.
Yeah. Haven't done Descendants.
No, haven't done Descendants. And we've done Screeching Weasel, haven't done Fugazi. So really, I mean, haven't done Pennywise either.
Yeah. That's right. We'll get there.
That's crazy. I didn't know we'd tick so many of them off.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool. I mean, and Boxcar too, because that's up there now too. So I've got to begin right now. You never say I'm feeling this anymore.
No, I don't.
You're never feeling this.
By this point of the night, it's just, this is where the wheels come off every time.
The wheels have come off. They definitely do. I love this album so much. I knew that, I don't know. It's one of those albums that, as you've said this entire episode, that I needed the cool change to come through and unlock for me. And to me, I think I have 2 albums. I have albums for seasons, and I wonder if other people do too. Ooh. Do you have albums for certain times of the year? And if so, what are they? Like, what is your summer album? What is your winter album? And if you're a bit more, if you're really into it, what's your autumn albums and your spring albums? Because
that's, I reckon, where you get the real juicy stuff.
Because that's where the cool change and the warm change comes through. And that makes you the most nostalgic, I think, or you can attach a lot to music, a lot of your emotions to music.
Yeah.
This album to me is like the biggest autumn album is like that I would listen to around when the cool change first comes through. They're Only Chasing Safety by Underoath. The other one, Louder Now by Taking Back Sunday. That is such an autumn album for me. I've got winter albums as well. I've got summer albums. To me, I lean more into pop punk in summer. Like, obviously, that's kind of expected.
What are your
Anima
spring
is
albums?
a huge spring album when the warm comes through. I haven't thought it out. I have to think about it. But do you have any off the top of your head?
No.
Oh, but
I don't think about these things as deeply as you do.
But you might just find yourself naturally gravitating toward more albums when the weather change comes through.
I think probably more of the summertime punk stuff probably just starts coming on in the spring anyway when it's starting to get warm.
True. But I feel like when you get that first bit of warmth, you do want to... Your Favorite Weapon by Brand New, 100%. Like, as soon as it starts warming up, that was such a summer album for me back in the day. So that's when I'd want to listen to that. I wouldn't really want to listen to that album. It feels weird listening to them in the wrong seasons. It's like listening to a Christmas album.
You didn't
in
only
April.
listen to them in those seasons.
No, but it's
now with the benefit of hindsight, it has that feeling of...
No, I think it's because I first listened to them in that season and I associate it with that time. So when that cool change comes through, I'm like, oh, I want to... It's like when people go, oh, it's getting cool. I want to snuggle up by a fireplace or something. But maybe I'm just weird. Do other people out there have their favorite seasonal albums that when the cool change comes through, you want to listen to straight away? Because it's not just the cool change. Because when it's dead of winter, there's some certain albums you want to listen to.
Yeah.
They're Only Chasing Safety for when the cool change first comes in, and Define the Great Line is my winter album.
I was going to say that feels like
it's a
winter album.
I think that came out in summer though. I think I heard someone say that and they were like, oh, this is such a summer album. I'm like, Define the Great Line? It's the most wintry cold album ever. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I want to know. People out there, do you have a seasonal album or albums that you listen to at certain times? And can you listen to them in the wrong seasons? Well, that's just totally incongruent.
And what happens if you listen to them on the day when it changes from like summer to autumn? You're like, oh no.
Yeah,
you're literally at the moment when it changes season.
You got to turn it off.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Do it.
Eject the CD, throw it out the window. Buy a new one next year.
I'd be interested to know from people which albums for them have the strongest feelings of nostalgia. Because for me, this is one of the strongest of all the albums we've done on the book club so far. And I kind of didn't expect that it would be like that. It was like, for me, like instantly transported me back to that period at the end of high school, as we've said on the episode so far, when we had our driver's license and we were driving around and like driving to band practice, listening to this, or
nostalgia can be
going drifting, listening to this.
Nostalgia can be different eras of your life too. Like some things can be really like remind you of being a kid. Some can remind you of being a teenager. Yeah. Like it's a rare but understated and underrated form of nostalgia when it's just when you just get a bit of independence and you just get your license or whatever. And yeah, this album definitely is that.
I think I was like listening to this in a fairly narrow period. Like I don't know. I don't listen to Underoath now.
Yeah.
And I don't, and probably didn't listen to them for a long time after high school. Like I moved on to other different sort of styles. Like I was into this style of music for a fairly narrow period.
But very intensely.
Very intensely. And when I was playing in a band, so it was like influencing that like music writing as well.
I think that's the types of albums that you should preserve the mental portals that they provide. Because I think that there's some albums that do that, but then you listen to them, you overuse the mental portal to go back there and you end up losing where the nostalgia takes you because it just reminds you of when you heard it 2 years ago, not when you were younger. But it's always special when you find an album, I think, that takes you right back to that period. It's there's nothing else like it. It's like the closest thing we have to a time machine. Well, that's it. It brings you to the second ever ending, to the second ever Emo Book Club of the second ever season of the Pop Punk Book Club. That'll always work because it'll be that episode in that season. We're going to do one a season. Thank you so much for listening. How did you enjoy it? What emo albums are we missing? As we said, we're both never were big My Chemical Romance fans, but that seems to be the big answer that people say you got to do. The Black Parade. Is that album that everyone loves?
I think it's Welcome to the Black Parade.
Welcome to the Black Parade.
Yeah.
You got to do that album because apparently that's the best. And I don't know. I that remains to be seen.
That was such a pained expression you just gave.
I never liked him.
I know. I feel like I said this, I think, on the last episode. Like, I always say I didn't like My Chemical Romance, and yet I know like 3 of their songs. I love those 3 songs.
Maybe it's just we didn't want to like them. But no, so I'm happy to give them a go. But let us know, what emo albums have we missed the boat on so we can do them on upcoming seasons. I mean, it won't be till later in the year, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you have a friend or someone you know, obviously, it's just like even if you're not friends with them, and you think that they'd be into this show, please do share the word of this podcast. By the way, send us through DMs. I haven't really checked about where you listen to this. I want to hear, people say listen at work or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Where are you listening? So you can let us know so we can shout you out of the podcast. It'd be fun to chat about. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. But before we go, there's always one thing we got to do. Oh, wait. First of all, we've got to say next week's album. On a show that is built so much on, like everyone rating along with us, that's the one thing we forget all the time. There's one thing we always do, which is always telling you, first of all, what the next album is. And I've got to do a drum beat for it, Underoath.
Oh.
There's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
But what song?
Can you do Colorblind by Seaway?
Oh man. Yes.
You've been waiting for this?
Yes. I'm going to reveal to everybody. Long-time listeners of the podcast will
don't.
know. What?
Don't do this.
No, I've got to at you.
Because it might get back to people who might then... Anyway.
This is the album that I said forever ago that I bleeped out because I said I'd wait for the day that it comes. So if you've been listening since season 1, you know what I'm talking about. This is the album that I think Sam Millencolin back in the day when he listened to it quite quickly, when we didn't give it as much depth as we do for this show. So we've all been there.
I thought you were going to say how I described it when I first listened to it.
I'll say that till next week. Okay. But this is an album that I think I was very hurt. I was very confused why Sam didn't love it because I thought this would... I'm not going to say this album's going to change your life, but I thought that you'd come out of it going, wow, that was a great find.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I'm right about that.
Or whether you'll still remain hurt.
If that's the case, I want to go sit you down with an interrogation light on, go song by song and hear why you don't like this album. But until then, now it's the actual thing that we were saying today.
It's time for Pop Punk.
Pop Punk in the style of Shakespeare. 1 verse, 1 chorus. You get 1 guess. You know how it is. First right answer left in the comments gets a shout out next episode. Let's go. Very on theme for the episode.
Yeah.
Good sir.
Just straight.
Straight in the grey bits. Good sir, I must unburden my thoughts to thee, for my lad troubles me greatly. Each day he comes to me with the same lament, swearing he can scarce endure his lady, this wench as he speaks of her, for another hour. I must needs to be rid of her, quoth he, in the most exceedingly dire manner imaginable. The poor fool toils from dusk till dawn, labouring till his very hands are worn, only to place his hard-won coin in her idle palm. And still she demands more silver, more favour, while she lifts not a finger to aid their household. At last I told him plainly, my lad, this simply will not stand. Thou must speak thy mind. For truly, there is but one answer fitting such a burden. If thou desirest coin, earn it thyself. I can see in your eyes straight away when you'll be able to get it.
Yeah.
It's a fun little. I know that one is very easy, but I think that for some people when it clicks, you'd be like, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I could see in your eyes. I was like, he's got this straight away.
So it's.
It is.
Is it? I'm not 100% sure on the song title.
That's an incorrect answer. Then, my friend. No, you're right. It's. Yeah. But also, technically, it could fit within the pop punk umbrella album, but not really a pop punk.
It's not a pop punk song, no.
No,
that's okay.
Fun
That's
one.
a good one.
It's a funny little
one.
story because it's written in Shakespearean ways, which is good. Well, that was a quick one. Did you guys get it as quickly? Did you get it at all? Well, there you go. There's an easy one. First person in the comments who writes it gets a shout out.
Yeah.
That's the thing that people are going to write. One person writes it and everyone's like, there's no point now. But still write it anyway if you get it just for
I like that
points.
people don't spoil it by they'll tell us they know the answer without giving away the song title name.
Yeah, and if you lie,
if
you're lying about this and we still give you the shout out.
I didn't even think.
Yeah. They'll have to pay us back. They owe us a shout out.
You get bonus points if you can say the song title incorrectly as I did in the exact same way.
Or say it in Shakespearean because those who couldn't get the original won't get the song title. All right, you guys have a great week and we'll catch you next time.